Welcome to another tournament episode of the Splitfire Gaming Podcast. This is an exciting one as we have someone who hasn't been on the show before, which is almost a first for a year. But I'll introduce someone who has been on before. Scott, welcome back for the millionth time.
Can't get rid of us anymore now.
No, and even this banter is getting quite
progressively worse.
Yeah, worse or repetitive. But anyway, I'm not changing the guest lineup. Or am I? Because he is Stan, who's joined us for the first time. Welcome.
Evening, gentlemen.
For you, this must be like meeting two celebrities such as Zoella or Paul Shane. So
I don't know who either of those people are.
Let's be honest, Mark. I'm only here because you joined my OnlyFans at the premium level, and this counts as your interaction for the month.
Is that it? That's £5 well spent. Or not?
Yeah. So I'm not going to have to pose naked with any Frostheart Phoenixes anymore. I'm happy.
That's more of a Morathi thing, isn't it? Well, we're here to discuss Cardiff Crusade not 2. I was going to call it Cardiff Crusade 2 Electric Boogaloo, but it's not. It's about the third or fourth one they've ran. So
the third one we've been to, isn't it? And it's the fourth one they've ran, I think.
Yes, it'll be the third one we've been to, and then they do the doubles, but whatever. So they capitalised on the success of the end of last year, and then they've got right out of the gate this year with this one. So I'm quite looking forward to it.
Really looking forward to it, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to the whole weekend. Should be a blast.
It's always a good weekend. We've got a good, strong northern contingent going down. We can't comment on the venue any more than you've already commented on.
Excellent.
See the previous episodes. You have to keep spicing this up because there's only so many times you can say it is a brilliant venue.
The place is savage, though.
You can't say that enough times. So, having been joined by these two men of Harlech, I'm going to weave some Welsh references into the rest of the show. Nobody gets that, do they? We thought we'd do a bit different because nothing much has changed comp-wise and mission-wise since the last one. So we might skim over that, and then we'll just talk about the lists, because this is slightly different to other tournaments in that they actually publish. It's almost a semi-open list. You find out what the units are, but magic items are still concealed.
But you've got the points total of the unit, so you can make some pretty good stabs at what things have got.
Well, this is the thing, because now a lot of people are getting into the game of trying to work out what everybody's got.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm happy to wing it and not work it out at all, but that's just.
I'm happy to either wing it, and I'm actually happy with totally open lists. So
I think open lists would be quite interesting.
I like fully open lists, but also, I do appreciate it does take away some of the surprise factors or the little cheeky tricks people may wish to play with different items or different types of characters, etc. But I do genuinely like though the semi-open lists that Cardiff do, where you can just see what people are bringing. You can start sort of theory crafting how to come up against it if you're so inclined. And you can just see sort of what people are bringing. It's nice to have a browse through.
My only thing against it is that it only really works in round 1. Because by the time round 2 comes along, or round 3, people are going to talk amongst themselves, especially if there's a strong...
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
That know each other. We'll be sitting in the pub on Saturday night when the draw comes up. Who have you got, or what have they got? How did they play it? It's standard tournament banter, isn't it?
The last time I did that is when I theory crafted coming up against the demon list with the Ilariel World Dragon list, and everyone said that would be a walkover. Then I got crushed, so I don't do that ever again.
It wasn't actually because you made a horrendous error in judgment.
That doesn't sound like Mark at an event where he forgets to play the missions at all.
It wasn't the missions I forgot to play. It was never mind. I'm not. That's in the past. I'm over it now with a lot of therapy. So the lists were leaked because they have leaks in Wales.
Oh.
So we are.
Oh,
What?
Jesus.
What? They don't get any better than this.
Oh.
So, do you think having an open list makes a big card difference to how you approach the game? No?
Not acceptable.
No. You know, we're playing a dead
I don't
game.
lie to you.
So, the comp then. As a high elf player, as you'll be shocked to know, I'm bringing high elves. I don't know. At the time of this, they may have fixed my mistake. I miscalculated my comp, but I think the comp is still quite harsh for high elves because they took away the +2 for no dispel scroll, which I'm assuming that just means everyone will be bringing them.
That's what I believe. Like, well, not everyone, but I think the majority of people will absolutely have a dispel scroll.
I think it's a safe assumption to go to a game going, they've got one dispel scroll, at least.
Yeah, because there's no negative to taking one. Sorry, because there's no positive to not taking one. By choosing to not have one, you're almost putting yourself at a disadvantage, assuming that you've got a wizard able to take one.
Yeah.
But I very much do expect almost everyone to have a list. Have a
scroll.
A scroll.
Yeah.
That was a bit because they've kept the old style. It's +1 per Shadow Warrior for the high elves anyway, so that's a way to claim back a few points and that. But I found, but then I'd miscalculated the unit size thing because I've been thinking it's -5 and in fact it's -3. So I was going to blame the comp, but in fact it's probably my fault for not reading the pack as I've done in the past.
To be fair, there is a bit of a formatting.
Yeah, it does. Line 1 ends with -3, and then line 2 starts with per unit between these things. So, well, never mind. What are you both bringing? We'll go on the list later, but just for a...
So I'm bringing Tomb Kings, and mine's a +1 comp score. So still undead, because from practice games not using undead, it turns out that much like your 2 good cells, I can't actually pass a leadership test to save me life. So I just defaulted back to taking undead, but I've taken a different type of undead this time. So after 2 years of VC at Cardiff, the Tomb Kings are coming to play.
Marvelous. What about you, Stan?
After the quite amazing achievements with the pure night goblins, I've decided I want something that can do something, and gone for the dwarves.
So you've gone from one side of the conflict to the other.
Yep, I've gone from the totally random, can't control anything, just see what happens, to slow and boring.
Well, there's a hell of a bell curve there, isn't there?
I mean, it's just extreme to extreme, isn't it?
But I've just got into a nice, simple +1 list.
+1. What was yours, Scott? Sorry.
+1. Because fluffy players take positive lists.
Well, I'm exactly 0. So
Who's your Mr. Average?
Yeah, continuing the average theme. But that was all I noticed about the comp. Is it seemed harsh for high elves. I don't know if it actually is, or it's just me being biased. Not harsh, but like harder to get some points back.
No, I think naturally, like any comp we've talked about previously, I think it doesn't matter how you put a tally comp together, some lists are always going to seem more difficult to get good positives than others. I think it's hard to get a positive Warriors of Chaos list that I'd want to play as well, to be fair. I mean, they're not impossible to get positive lists with them. It's just a list that you actually want to play. So
I think it's a lot, because the Cardiff floor pack has removed a lot of the pluses. So I think unless you go a really skew list, It is quite hard to get.
Like either what you'd find, and I think we're going to see that with some of the lists, like that because of the nature of this specific tally comp and the lack of some bonuses, and just the way some units are scored, certain races may well lead themselves to very similar lists, which is not a critique, or it's not a criticism, rather. It's just almost a critique of any type of tally comp does eventually lead itself to that outcome, unless you like see it going for a particular skew list or you're going for a real themed list.
More on that later, because there are quite a few. I haven't tallied it up. I probably should have. How many minuses there are versus how many pluses?
Well, I think it roughly works out now as a flat 0 when you as an average score now. I think.
Was it?
I believe so. I think your amendment changes it to about 0.
Would you like to have that much of an impact, or not?
So what you're saying is, because of his change, he is now Mr. Average again.
Yeah.
You can never stop being Mr. Average. It's just with you for the rest of eternity. That's what I'm aiming for, mid-table again. Excuse me. Do you want to go through quickly the scenarios again? Just to remind people, because they're in a different order, but I don't think they've changed.
No, they're the same scenarios from previous, but they are played this time in a different order.
What's the first one? I've got
the
first
one is the pick 2 terrain features, and you've got to hold your opponents and then not hold yours.
Yeah, but they can't be fully within your deployment zone.
Yeah.
What's it called? Is that
counter thrust?
What's the secondary thing? Because I've named these.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. That's one. Oh, there we go. There's King of the Hill.
It's that one there, but it's also the one with the interest in for your first 3 units that you place, the opposition cannot deploy within 20 inches. And I thought this was very interesting last time we played it, to be fair.
Yeah, because whoever goes first is really either denying a huge chunk of the board to the opponent, or you're drawn. So if you've castle, then you're surrendering quite a big chunk of the board.
Yeah, it definitely discourages your traditional castle approach.
How does that feel as a dwarf player then, Stan?
Well, I've got 2 units in my list designed to take advantage of that, but everything else will be at the back of the board.
Castle, not you. You still there.
I think they call that dangerous modern thinking in dwarf holds, don't they?
Hold on, are you outside of our bubble? Get out.
2 gyrocopters pushing them back.
Oh, that's fine, yeah.
That's what they're for, wasn't it?
And this is the one where, it's 2 terrain features, or you can both pick the same one, can't you?
You can. It just cannot be wholly within your own deployment zone.
Yeah.
And in fact, obviously, a lot of their comp is all about taking objectives and score units.
I should probably point out that it's changed. It's not a chunk of victory points for winning the objective. It's 3. It's
tournament points.
3 tournament points, isn't it? But you have to win it, and the opponent has to not win the objective. Is that right?
So if you win the objective, you gain 3. If you're
and they lose 3,
it's a -3. So
yeah,
it's a 6-point swing. So, but based on like your traditional 20-0 scoring, you can only get a 17-3, and then it's the objectives take it the opposite way. The rest of the way, sorry.
It's an interesting way of doing it, rather than just a.
So if you get tabled and get the 17-3 on the score, but then you win the objective,
it's actually
changes it to a 14-6, which is a massive swing.
Massive, yeah, and that's from the few test games I did do. Admittedly, not with the army I'm actually taking. That is an enormous swing, and really makes a difference.
You've gone from effectively 0 to 6 points.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be big.
That's going to be interesting.
Potentially big, anyway.
It certainly changes your target priority.
Definitely.
Yeah, because in this one, you do not want to give up your objective, your terrain piece. So what you're going to leave there? It's got to be a scoring unit as well, which is
Has to be a scorer unit.
that's infantry of 10 models and a banner, or cavalry of 5 and a banner. I think that's right.
Yeah, fast cavalry 10 as well.
Fast cavalry's 10. What are you going to leave? So you got to leave something back, but if you want to push on and take the other one, you're going to have to leave. That's where you want the army to go. What's the next one?
Next one's Dawn Assault.
Dawn Assault. I've got that up there. This is the. It's almost like Battle for the Pass. Yeah, you need a bit of geometry to deploy this one, but then when you work it out, I think it's all right. This is the one where the reserves come on.
Yeah, so the actual special rule is called Breakthrough, and it's you win by having the most scoring units inside your opponent's deployment zone. But yes, you can opt to ambush, which can then only come in on your short board edge.
Yeah, I remember this. And then it's how much do you leave behind to counter that if they've done it, versus pushing everything into the. Is this the one where there was some discussion about what happens if you get the other side and then just split all your characters out of a unit?
No, that was in a different event.
Right.
Because characters are non-scoring in this.
Yeah, so it's still got to be scoring units for this.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's fine.
Because this is the one that at the previous event, Stan gave me an absolute Goldie for my zombies.
On purpose?
Yeah, we weren't playing each other. It was a chat, but Sean spotted it because it's a trick I may have to employ again.
It's a trick I'll certainly be employing.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe you can do that in the review rather than the preview.
Definitely in the review if it comes off.
What's the next one then?
So the next one is Frontline Clash.
Frontline Clash, got that one there. That is... Oh yeah, we played that one as a test game. It's most... You get a point for if you've got the most scoring units within 6 inches of the centre, and then whoever's got the most points at the end gets the
win.
It says the win, yeah. I've said victory points in here, but it's the
tournament
3.
points.
Yeah, the tournament points.
Yeah, this one is it's a bit like hold the centre of the ground. It should lead to some, and last time led to some fairly beefy fights in the middle of the board, which I think is what we're looking for.
This is the one I practiced the other day, and it ended up with the Phoenix Guard in the middle, just staring at a dwarf gun line.
Nice.
But they survived.
Hey.
So, you know that scene in...
It is an excellent one for something like Phoenix Guard, which can legitimately take a hell of a beating.
Or just sit there and get shelled and rack up the points.
Yeah.
Anything that's got a good ward save, heavy armor, or is unbreakable, just sit there.
That's a steal for undead, I would imagine, as well, just because you've got to kill them all to get them off.
Well, certainly for VC, because you just get your zombies up there, then you start casting Invocation of the Heck, and happy days. But
you know that scene in
players out there, please don't do that when you play. Not cool, guys. Not cool.
You can get about D3 skeletons. What are you on about?
Yeah.
D3 plus 1.
D3 plus 1. Sorry,
yeah, Mark. That plus 1 is the game changer.
Don't forget it. What's number 4?
Number 4's the encircle one with the funny deployment.
Yeah, this one.
And then this is the one where you've got to nominate 3 scoring units to destroy, and that's how you win the victory points.
Here's another one to benefit Phoenix Guard, because they're quite tough.
It depends how many scoring units you've got.
Not that many, because I didn't read the pack before I wrote the list.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's about tactical choices of what scoring units you need to kill, because I don't know how many you've got to look at your list, but if you've got 4, I ain't picking that Phoenix Guard unit.
Actually, I think I might have exactly 3.
Just for clarity.
Pick it.
No.
I think from the last one, about 3 scoring units was an optimum choice.
Yeah, it was about average, wasn't it? Because then you don't get little scoring units or cheap ones picked on or in something like this that are easy to kill.
Yeah, to 3 meaty scoring units.
Yeah, at least then it's sort of you've forced the decision because you've only provided 3 and you've got to pick 3.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 5, so people can bully mine as much as they choose. Sadly,
I'll pick that unit of 10 skeleton archers. Which I assume's in there.
you leave those skeleton archers alone. Okay.
The ones that he'll then just keep at the back of the board and never move.
It's all right. I've got 2 eagles.
I'll kill eagles in combat. Bloody hell!
No chance.
You know, bowmen are better in combat than they are out of combat.
Yeah. High elf archers are better in combat than any other unit in the game.
That's true. That is true.
Does that mean the last one is refused flank?
Indeed.
Yes.
Let's have a look at that one, which is like meeting engagement.
Yeah, this one's a bit. It's similar to the first one, but it's not terrain features. It's markers that you put down. But
that's right. Yeah.
Of each other.
And there's only 2, wasn't there?
Yeah. You put one down. Your opponent puts one down, and it's about getting within 6 inches.
But they've got to be 12 inches away from your deployment zone, so the 3 inches into the 3 inches over the board edge. So unlike the first one where
it could be near you,
you can force it to be fighting over one terrain feature. This one, it is 2 objectives.
Yeah, and they have to be 24 inches apart as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the last time, this sort of forces you to put them in the back line, which is what you're going to leave there to protect it. And this time I don't have the fast cavalry to go and grab it, which we'll find out. Let's have a look. Yeah. So they haven't changed from last time, so I don't think there's...
No, that
just
seems like
the only thing that's changed is the way to score.
Yeah,
yes,
the +3, -3, which is interesting because plus 500 victory points, you weren't stealing, like the opponent didn't lose 500 victory points for not getting it, whereas this they are.
Swing.
Yeah.
Swing.
Yeah, 500 victory points is a 2-point swing.
Whereas this is a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Triple jeopardy.
Interesting. Right. Well, so that's them. Let's go to the comp. We just thought then we'll go through the lists that have been published. I have anonymized them because I wasn't sure about giving out people's names, especially people I don't know. So I think we can work out some of them who's are who's.
Yeah.
So, you can certainly work out mine.
If people are bothered, they can find them on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Then it's Cardiff's problem.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see you in ZZ at Cardiff High Street. That's,
no data protection breaches on our end, guys.
I think I got this to work, so let's find out if it does. Where are we? This is my technical ability. There we go. I think, does that work? Can you see that?
Oh, I've got them up on my screen anyway.
All right. Well, if it doesn't work, we can read them out. It's an audio experience anyway. So these are the redacted lists. They don't have the magic items in like we're saying, but they do have the points. So for those of you playing along at home, you can write down
there, or at least have a good idea.
You can write down what you think is in it, and then we're not going to find out what's actually in it. So who knows? There's no prizes.
We might even remember to make note of them to see right at the end. But I think that's a big if.
Yeah, that's
previous experience.
If nothing else happens, then. So the first category is Beastmen, of which there are one
and only player
who is someone we know. This is Andy's list, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We know him so much. He's in the car with us on the way down.
Yeah. We don't know him, but he will be in the car with this.
Yeah, some guy just appears. He's probably just going to appear at my house randomly on the morning. And I'm like,
He's gone for the big +10, which is
He has. I mean, hats off to him, to be fair. I actually think it's a good +10 list, to be honest.
It is.
I mean, he's relying on certain things doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So his list. So I'll just read it for those who are audio only. He's got 2 Doom Bulls, both with Mark of Zinch. Does that give him a ward save?
It definitely doesn't probably give him 2 characters with 3 ward saves. Definitely not. That's all I'm saying, guys.
He's got Slug Tongue, who is, I think, Andy's favourite thing ever.
He's great, though, isn't he?
And he's got a Brace Shaman with Mark of Zinch and the Lower Beasts. Because why wouldn't you? Lower Beasts.
Law of the actual, honestly, it's hilarious.
This is the first time I've actually read his list for real. This is actually brilliant. He's got a War Gore in a chariot. For core, he's got 5 Chaos Hounds, 29 Gore with Zinch. I'm all in favour of his dedication to Zinch here. 32 Ungor with Marcus Slanesh, 10 Ungor Raiders with Slanesh, so they don't run away, I'm assuming. 5 Centaur with Slanesh, and 2 Cygors, and that's it.
Amazing. One of the most overcosted creatures in the game, or like every other Beastman rare. Like, going big +10 is just ballsy, and I really think it's a fun list. Like, I've had a practice game against this, and like, Andy's an exceptionally good player, and he knows how to use Beastman, but this list is like, it's just fun. Like, you can see it was a fun list when he put it together. He's going to really enjoy playing it, and it's like, it's +10. What can you say? It's got 3 very, very good things in there, and then other stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's got 3 or 4 things which he needs to work out, and it'll surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, it will.
But if the wheels come off,
they come off big. But like taking Beastman period, taking that Beastman list at taking Beastman at +10 and going all in is amazing.
You got nothing. You can't really say anything against that, can you? Beastman, Lord
+10 and have Slug Tongue in it. What a legend!
Centaurs in it. Has anyone ever played with Centaurs?
Just Andy. Andy's the only person in the world that uses Centaurs.
Look at this Cygor, 275 points of brilliant rare goodness.
He's got 2 of them, because if one's rubbish, 2 are better. Oh, legend.
Well,
they're mobile stone throwers, which is where the good part of them ends.
Well, begins and ends.
Begins and ends. But hats off to them. Cracking list.
Yeah, it's counted like the Slanesh mark will mitigate the chances of them running away quite a bit if it works the same way.
Yeah. He's got 4 scoring units in there, one of which is an ambushing unit. So,
Beastman ambush, you know?
No. Regular ambush.
Yeah.
I love Beastman ambush. You know, bad ambush is, well, this is worse.
Well, he has our special rule. It makes us even shitter.
Yeah, you know that the generic rule, that's better than us specialists. Yeah. Well, that gets the stamp of approval. What's next?
I'm going to go on a limb and go for Andy to get best in faction.
I would bet, yeah, I would bet that.
Strong.
Place your bets now. What's next? Bretonia. 3, yeah. And one of them is, at least one of them is someone we know.
And we know all 3 of them, but to some point before I claim.
Is this first one James's list?
I mean, I don't know why you bothered redacting the list if I was just going to say who they are. But yes, the first one is James's list.
I'm not giving the surnames or their addresses.
Right. Okay. Yeah, James's list. Are you reading through it?
Yeah, I will do. So, Lords, Bretonian Lord, General, Barded Warhorse and Shield, the Fey Enchantress, and then Heroes, the Paladin, BSB on a horse, Who'd have thought it?
Shocker.
Yeah. Core 11 Knights Errant. I like Knights Errant. And then 8 more Knights Errant. 10 Knights of the Realm. 2 sets of 3 Pegasus Knights in special. Oh, here's a joke I forgot to make. And in Welsh rare bit. Yeah. Trebuchet and 11 Grail Knights for a flat 0 comp.
I think this is a good list, to be honest.
There's a lot of scoring units.
I think it's a strong list. They've got 4 score units, like 2 of which are going to be very threatening. Like a minimum, but I mean, obviously they've all got devastating charge in the comp. The Fey Enchantress just is a powerhouse on life magic. I think for a flat +0, for a flat 0 scoring list, I think this is a genuinely strong list. And James knows how to use Brett's.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about it is between the Grail Knights and the Enchantress, it's 1,000 points.
Yeah, not only will it be between, they'll be in one spot as well, won't they?
If something happens to that, it could hurt.
Hopefully it will. Deserves it.
Is the Enchantress worse for night buses than the normal ones? Because if you don't ever want to roll a 7 for mounted mages in the middle of a block.
It's just the same, except she does give them a better magic resistance, I think. But what's particularly excellent about that is that she doesn't get a lookout against missile fire because she's on a war beast.
Oh yeah,
she's not cavalry. She's monstrous cavalry, rather.
Is she on a unicorn? Or?
Unicorn, yeah.
But these blocks, these scoring units, these are all at least 2-up armor save knights with a ward save or a better ward save.
Well, actually, I don't want to. I mean, if anyone doesn't know the Fey Enchantress's rules, I don't want to spoil any surprises at you. But what's really impressive with this list is I'm fairly confident the Fey Enchantress means they get the blessing and don't have to pray.
That rings a bell.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, Brett players. I've never actually used them yet. But if it is, it just means he's got that option or the threat of actually going first as well, which is something you count on or count on having against Brett's a lot of the time. So that could be spicy.
And then the Trebuchet, of course, one of the best ranged artillery pieces in the game.
Yeah, it's good. It's so cheap as well. Disgusting.
It is for me, it's the 2 units of Peg Knights.
Yeah, they're going to be a pain in the arse.
They're just such a threat, aren't they? But 2 units of 3 Peg Knights are like, they're so good, they're such excellent chaff, and they're so good at killing other chaff and threatening anywhere they want.
Range as well, isn't it? Like flying.
Yeah, threat range is excellent.
Flying hard chaff. It's not like an eagle with no armor. It's are they 3-up or 2-up? I can't remember.
3-up, I think.
3-up, same. And you're totally correct about the Enchantress, Scott. You start with the Blessing.
Yeah, I think that just brings an extra level of threat, to be honest.
And just casting as level 6.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Just a powerhouse on life. She really is.
And you can't really rely on a miscasting because she'll have Throne of Vines.
Yeah.
So the other one,
next
Armor
one
2 even, yeah. So this is, I like this one as well. Bretonnian Lord, the Green Knight, Prophetess level 4 on Beasts, and then a lot of heroes. Damsel level 1 on Heavens, Damsel level 1 on Beasts, 3 Paladins, one of which is the Battle Standard Bearer, and the core 11 Knights of the Realm, 10 Knights Errant, 6 more Knights of the Realm, and 3 Pegasus Knights. The Grail, is it Reliquae? How do you pronounce that?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, one of them. And then in rare, 2 sets of 3 Grail Knights and 2 Trebuchets. Now, why is that Trebuchet 100 and that one 90?
Well, there's evidently an upgrade that you may or may not want to buy a Trebuchet.
I'm not very au fait. See, it's French with Bretonians.
I think what's nice here is that there's three different magic users, which obviously all confer magic res to the unit they're in. There's coincidentally 3 different scoring units. They all, you can have magic res, you can have magic res, we all get a magic res. Very different to James to the first Bretonian list. Another very interesting list. MSU Grail Knights is a real different take on things. Lots of characters. The first Green Knight viewage, which we may see another one of shortly. Again, I think it's an interesting list at a comp score of 0, to be honest.
Let's just, for the characters though, there's like, so is every block going to get a paladin and a damsel, do you think? Or, I mean, 3 Grail Knights?
They're not going to get anything.
They're just going to be running by themselves.
Yeah, well, they've also got magical attacks, so they're great for anti-ethereal hunting.
Oh, yeah. See, anything good, I automatically just think, what's the biggest unit of them you can get? The idea of...
this list, I know obviously the guy who plays this is a good guy, and he played a very, very similar list, I think, last time as well, and uses those Grail Knights really interestingly, and he's the only person I know who runs them like that, so it is quite different.
They're a good trading piece. At 114 points each, you run them into a screen, they get countercharged and die. And then it sets up your big blocks to go in after that. So I see them as a bait and trading unit.
And the nice double treb there to flatten anything that doesn't want to move.
Double treb, Jesus. Disgusting.
Getting, like you're saying, flat 0 comp as well.
Yeah.
He's packing an awful... I mean, I know it's Brett, but that's a lot of characters to pack that he's packed in.
Well, hold that thought and go on to the next one.
Okay. Oh, wow. Who's this? Chantel the Prophetess.
This is really cool that he's named his character.
Oh, he has, yes.
Yeah, I think it's very flavoursome, to be honest, and it's very cool.
The Green Knight again. And then we've got Marie the Damsel, level 2. Michelle the Paladin on a Pegasus. Pierre the Paladin on a Royal Pegasus. Gaston the Paladin on a Royal Pegasus. And the BSB on a normal horse. And then lots of blocks of Knights Errant. 2 blocks of...
Yeah, MSU.
MSU Knights.
Yeah, I've seen this in action before. It's cool. Again, it's all 3 Brett lists, very different.
Yeah, they are.
I think that's very cool. And it's nice to see real different flavour for me across the same race, which you don't get a lot.
First appearance of peasants, though, other than the trebuchet here. The peasant bowman skirmishes. Heroes.
Yes. The real heroes of Bretonia.
Yeah.
And I suppose I assume battle pilgrims are peasants as well with the Grail.
Yeah, they are. So other than every other peasant unit, the first appearance of peasants.
And the crew on the trebs.
They're like super peasants, them though, aren't they?
I'll cut this bit out because I was wrong.
But I think what's very interesting about this one as well is those 2 units of battle pilgrims with the Grail. Like, they're not scoring units, so people may not be focusing them, but they're a little dot of stubborn troops.
And they're just a pain in the arse to shift.
They're really tough to shift, and it'll allow the rest of the army, if you can pin them down using the battle pilgrims, to really, because of the nature of how mobile this unit is, this army is, and these characters can go in pretty much any of those units, and then you've got 3 flying paladin heroes darting around the board.
That's nasty, isn't it? 3 flying heroes.
Yeah, it's cool. It's interesting. It's different. Again, I like it because it's different.
It's very fast.
It's very fast. Yeah. Very mobile. It'll avoid a lot of things as well. It'll be able to pick and choose what it fights.
Especially like the Green Knight can just pop out wherever he's needed, zoom along.
Yeah, he's quite wild. And
would you not be a bit concerned about the 3 scoring units only being 6 strong.
I suppose they've gone because it's so many of them. You can just park them.
No, there's only 3 scoring units.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, standard bearer. Yeah.
Standards. So I mean, you're right. Theoretically, it depends what they've got to be able to target them. Because you can be quite avoidance based with them, but if you've got, say, a lot of good range threats, then yeah, I think you could look to take advantage of that for sure.
On the other hand, like a bolt thrower is only going to kill 2 because there's nothing behind. You know what I mean? They're only 2 deep, aren't they? If they're 6.
And they've still got a 2 up, and then their ward save.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's 3 Grail Knights. They don't have anything either. So yeah, only the 3 scoring units.
Is it's led by a sorceress, a prophetess.
Yeah.
Level 4 on Heavens as well.
Heavens is a great combo for Brett's though, because it gives you such control of the board and forces your opponents to do a lot of the movement that they might not want to do. And because you're so much more mobile, I think Heavens synergizes incredibly well with Bretonnians.
You're probably going to be wounded on 2s on the charge at least, and Harmonic Convergence is rerolling 1s.
Yeah.
I would always pick Harmonic Convergence, but there we go. So that's +4.
Yeah, it's a cool list, and like say for +4, I think the battle for best Brett out of the 3 will be interesting. Very different lists,
all very different.
3 players who play Bretts a lot as well, and know what they're doing with them.
And knowing who some of these guys and their painting abilities, some of these armies are going to look absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's a couple of these armies that they'll be stunning, genuinely stunning on the board.
Well, the next one is Chaos Dwarfs, which there are 2 of. So the first one, the Lord is the Sorcerer Prophet on Death. Heroes is a Demon Smith, level 1 on Fire. Infernal Castellan is the Bat Standard Bearer, and 2 Khans on Wolf. That's a common feature in that. 42 Hobgoblin Cutthroats with bows, 22 Infernal Guard with fire glaives. And then special, there's an Iron Demon, and a Magma Cannon, and a rare, there's a Hell Cannon, and a Kadai Destroyer. Now,
this is so similar, minus, I didn't have a level 4 on my list. I was almost taking Chaos Dwarfs rather than Tomb Kings, and this is very, very similar to a list.
I was going to say, without knowing otherwise, Scott, I thought you'd put 2 lists in.
Yeah, you could read that. You could definitely mistake it for. I've pretty much run this identical list before.
To be fair, Scott, there isn't much wiggle room in the CD list.
No, there's not a lot of wiggle room for the most part. To be fair.
What? So it's only got half a dozen units.
It's only got but like Khans are just cool. They're a pain in the arse to deal with.
I agree.
The one thing, that Sorcerer Prophet, if he's not on a flying carpet, then frankly, this player, I'm disappointed. Okay.
But there's no giant ball for him to fly on in this, apparently. So.
No. But I know it's a solid, very atypical Chaos Dwarf list, to be fair. And that's not a dig by saying it's atypical, but I mean, there is, as Stan said, there's only so many choices, and that's very, very similar to a list I've ran at a previous event.
Except 2 Iron Demons would be your sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have a level 4 because I don't think Chaos Dwarfs need it. I'd have an extra Iron Demon. And yeah, I wouldn't have a BSB either because I'd take the comp score.
Does the Infernal Castellan grant stubborn, or does he have to upgrade it?
Yeah, stubborn, but he doesn't have to be a BSB for that. He just grants stubborn to the unit he's in.
Right. Because I like Infernal Castellans for that, because they're very hard to get rid of the unit, or him by himself if he wants to lone wolf it. But I suppose he can't really do that if he's BSBing.
There's nothing to stop him going in with the Hobgoblins, is there?
No, except you have to go on the end. Because he's different base size. Oh, no, he's not. No, of course there's nothing, absolutely nothing to stop him going with the Hobgoblins. And both of those core +1 comp choices. Because of the fire glaives.
Fire glaives, they are not... That's the blunderbusses that are the ludicrous D6 shots each, isn't it?
Yeah, but you've got to take them in mass. Blunderbusters are just the most ridiculously costly thing in the game.
Fireglades are much better.
Fireglades are really expensive as well. They're like crap versions of Iron Drakes.
The 18-inch strength 4
Yeah.
and counted halberds in combat.
Yeah. They're a cool combo, but they're very, very, very expensive. But a Death Wizard combined with a Hell Cannon is a beautiful thing.
Seeing what's trying to work out what's mobile here. So the Kadai obviously will be running up. The Iron Demon will be.
The Iron Demon's relatively mobile, although it's fast. It's not mobile because it can't turn. And then you've got the double Khans as well, both with magic weapons to go challenge ethereal and things like that as well.
They're the chaff as well, aren't they? Sort of the...
Yeah, they're the only chaff you've got. I mean, you could argue that the entire horde of hobgoblins is also chaff.
Well, when you've only got 2 scoring units, is it really your chaff?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
That's a point as well, isn't it? So I suppose 22 Infernal Guard are stubborn. Leadership 10, I'm assuming.
Well, if they've got the Source of Profit in there, it will be.
They're probably not going anywhere for a while.
Yeah.
So there's another thing to park on the center of the board or in the Holy Woods or whatever it is for the objectives. Although I suppose you're sending out the Kadai and the Iron Demon and shelling the person, whatever's sat on the opposite objective. But then what have you got to go and get it? You know what I mean? Go and claim the other objective.
People get too aggressive with the Kadai, too aggressive, too quick, and sometimes it's the balance about weakening things with your ranged. Although to be fair, you talk about range, it's only magic, and then the magma cannon, the hell cannon, relatively that's particularly ranged, and then you use
the Iron Demon isn't bad.
No. I mean, Iron Demon's incredible at killing certain things. It's amazing at killing monsters. Amazing.
It's a -1 as well, so that's.
It's a tough comp. It's a tough score. It's a tough list.
Once it gets bad touch, nice and fast cav.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Charge anything cavalry and Iron Demons, and it just gets stuck there the entire game.
Well, the next one is the Prophet of Hashut, and then there's an Infernal Castellan with the BSB, 2 Khans, 33 Infernal Guard, and then 3 Magma Cannons in Special, and then a Lamassu level 2 on Fire, and a Kadai Destroyer in Rare. So that's a bit different to the last one.
It is. 3 Magma Cannons is disgusting. and I say that with nothing but a little bit of respect, but 3 Magma Cannons is frankly disgusting.
And 2 flyers.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 flyers and a Kadai. Like, this has got a lot of movement and range threat. Not only that, but like plus the 2 Khans on Wolves. Like, other than that 1 unit of Infernal Guard with the Castellan in, and the 3 Magma Cannons sitting there, the rest of that army is incredibly mobile. Only 1 scoring unit though.
Yeah, 1. That's that could come off because the one where you've got to pick 3 scoring units. Could you could just pick the Infernal Guard and you'd have to pick the Infernal Guard and then just the 2 Khans or something.
2 Khans, or you could take a couple of Magma Cannons if you've got if you can get into combat with them. Yeah. Or you can pick. To be fair, you can pick the Kadai because although it's got a 4-up ward and it's tough, if you can take a couple of wounds off it, it'll probably kill itself anyway with a failed toughness test.
It's toughness test.
It's happened to me enough times. Not that I'm bitter about it.
Oh, the Lamassu itself, it's an unridden monster.
Yeah, and it's got no save.
Does it not even have a ward?
No, it's got magic res.
So it's just relying on... How tough is a Lamassu?
Toughness 5.
So that's not even that.
It's +1 for a reason.
Right. That's minus...
It's no Cygor, but it's not good. But Drasmeth Ashen, as far as special characters go, is very interesting, to be fair. Decent character. He's a
Does he have a ward?
Yes.
I was going to say 570 points without a ward. It's got a cannonball written all over it.
He's got a ward, and he's got a better mount than a normal Tauren. He's good. He's only 5 points different to a regular fully kitted out Sorcerer Prophet on a on a Taurus, so he's an interesting character. It'd be interesting to see which of those lists do better, to be honest. I think they're very different in their threats.
Does he get Lawmaster?
No.
No.
If only. Oh my god, that would be incredible.
Well, they're both in comp score. They're both -1, so
Well,
it'd be interesting to see.
Interesting to see. I think because of the plethora of ogres, that a magma cannon heavy list could do like disgustingly well if he gets drawn against ogres, because magma cannons like literally just destroy ogres like it's going out of fashion.
The only thing with the second list is I worry about how many 6-point swings is it going to get.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, there's a couple
one scoring unit.
Yeah,
because you've got to then park this Infernal Guard unit protecting your objective or going for the other one. And either way, you're not going to get the 3 points, the 6-point swing.
Yeah. That is going to be the challenge for sure.
And it's only a 33 strong unit. Not the hardest thing to take out. What have they got? Heavy armor?
No, they've got chaos armor because they're chaos dwarves. They've got a 4-up armor save in combat because they've got fire glaives, and they're stubborn though, so their toughness 4-up save stubborn. So they're not easy to shift, but I appreciate they're not the biggest unit in the world. But it's not an easy move.
What's their initiative?
Oh, they're dwarves. 2. I mean, they're a purple sun away from absolute death.
Next is demons.
Only 2 in this event.
And I have no offense to anyone, but I already have picked my favorite demons list based on one.
Based on one thing.
And I think me and Scott will go for this first list, I'm afraid.
Oh, 100%. Like, I'm sure I won't mind us mention his name, but like, Matt's list's ace. Like, frankly, we love Matt's list. Like, who doesn't love a Slanesh demon list? Go on, Mark. Sorry, I'll let you read it out, and then we'll gush up Slanesh.
No, not at all. So, Lords, keep your secrets. Level 4 on Slanesh. Demon Prince, Demon Slash, who's on level 2 on Shadow. There's a Herald BSB on Shadow, Slanesh as well. 29 Demonettes, 21 Demonettes, 3 Fiends of Slanesh, an Exalted Seeker Chariot, and a Soul Grinder, which is also a Demon of Slanesh.
And
+5.
Now, for me, one thing I would have put the Herald on a Chariot and gave it the lesser locus so it automatically passes characteristic tests, because I think it makes it terrifyingly mobile and a little bit cheesy, but I'm okay with it. Love Double Lord, love Keeper and Demon Prince, and everybody loves level 4 on Slanesh, just so you can roll Choir Bomb.
And also taking the Demon Prince from the Demon's book.
It's ballsy.
Shit. Matt, you can't help but respect that play.
Well, I mean, personally, I would have put level 2 on Shadow on my General Keeper, and I'd have put the level 4 on Slanesh on the Demon Prince, and went and did fly and Choir Bombs with them. But that's just me. That's the guy I am. Because if Choir Bomb's worth casting, it's worth doing on a flying character and then 6 dicing it in the middle of someone's army.
What I really like about this list is its dedication to Mono God.
Yeah, it's ace. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a good... I mean, I think Slanesh lists are can comp well anyway, to be fair. I think I actually think that's the second best of the Mono God lists. But I think this...
You couldn't do this with Tzeentch, because
Tzeentch lists are rubbish.
For some reason, they get brutally punished in the comp, but we're not going on about that.
But no, I think this is a really good list, and I know Matt will have a lot of fun games playing it. I love it, frankly.
I think it needs to be piloted well, because it's brittle.
Yeah.
But it's going to be on you before you know what time of day it is.
Oh yeah, it's fast as all hell. It's got a bit of range, which will be nice. It means you can throw a dice at some stone throwers.
The Flame Bombard is the best upgrade on the Soul Grinder.
But it's got a lot of magic threat. But again, like any demons list of this variety, it's very much requiring 2 things to do all of the heavy lifting.
And hope it doesn't explode.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of a certain thing doing a lot of heavy lifting, takes us on to the second demon's list.
This is my favourite demon list because I read this, Lords, Kairos Fate Weaver, and
Special
then just
K.
decided, yeah, Special K's in.
Special K's in the house.
Yeah, he's so good that he didn't even need any heroes to help him out. So Kairos is the Lord, and then core 20 blood letters, whatever, 15 demonettes, whatever, 10 pink horrors,
Hey.
heroes, 5 beasts of Nurgle, and then a unit 4 beasts of Nurgle, 5 Chaos Furies of Tzeentch, 3 Screamers, and then 5 Plague Drones, a Skull Cannon, and then another Skull Cannon. So it's quite a mix of the gods there.
It's a -6 list, and all I can say is rightfully so, because this is disgusting. Like when the good gentleman put this list together, frankly, I hope he, after submitting it, went and had a wash, because this is absolutely disgusting. I hope he spends his weekend playing Banner of the World Dragon High Elves, because he deserves it.
It looks like a list you would write, Scott.
Nah, that's disgusting. Double Skull Cannon, which is awful. 2 blocks of 4, a 4 and a 5 Beast of Nurgle is.
What are you gonna do? Yeah, what are you gonna do about that?
And then we've just got like the powerhouse that is Kairos Fate Weaver when it comes to Magic. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a very strong list, and I would be shocked if it's not up there challenging towards the top end of the leadership board. To be honest.
Yeah, this is.
It deserves a -6. It's it's absolute filth. I love. I mean, I say it with a smile because like hats off.
This is a similar comp to the Banner of the World Dragon Alariel Double Phoenix list,
and rightfully so, because that's equally disgusting.
This is the biggest minus in the competition.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
This is only the 3rd most disgusting.
Yeah, this is the bronze medal.
I mean, it is disgusting, probably. Don't get us wrong, but as far as actual com scores go, it's only the 3rd most disgusting.
The thing I like about this is Kairos is going to be like a nuclear bomb going off, but even if he dies, like, who cares? There's so much more stuff here.
There's the 3 massive blocks of naughty Nurgle things and double Skull Cannon. That's just
double Skull Cannon, yeah.
And because of Cardiff's rule on infinitely high hills, Kairos is just even more powerful than he is in a normal comp, and he's already disgusting.
Just park him behind a hill and take all the direct damage, nuke, horde killing nuke spells, and Throne of Vines, and just watch him level everything.
What a hero!
He's definitely the best. Special K.
Special.
That's my. Not to take anything away from this very lovely Slaanesh list, but this is my one to watch.
Well, of course you embrace that because it's a filth fest, and
correct.
You love it.
Naturally, I gravitate towards that. Speaking of filth, the Dark Elves are coming up next.
5 Dark Elf players this time.
1, 2.
So I didn't mean to phrase as a question.
Yeah, that's 5.
Oh, is it? Oh, it is. Okay, I'll not qualify that. Yeah, not as popular as the Acer Superiors, but still quite a lot. So the first one, there are, yeah, I don't know how they carry on invading with so few. I mean, there's not many High Elves, and there's even fewer Dark Elves.
There's a lot of forced breeding in the Dark Elf contingent, though, isn't there?
Yeah, but then they kill everyone, like Murder Night, whatever it's called, or Death Night.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday night in Cardiff. Get in.
Marathi's Bar. Oh, Hellebron's Bar. Well, this is interesting, though, because the Lord is a Dreadlord on a black dragon. So I'm instantly... This is my Prince on Star Dragon mirror. So I like that to start off with. Then there's a Sorceress, level 2 on Heavens. 2 Masters. 1 on a Cold One, 1 on a Dark Steed. 2 sets of 5 Dark Riders. Brilliant. 15 Witch Elves, 17 Dark Shards, and then a unit of 11 Cold One Knights, 5 Shades, and then 9 Doomfire Warlocks for a +2 comp score.
This
Did
is
you,
really
did you mention the War Hydra?
the Hydra.
Oh, I missed the Hydra.
Yeah.
I did miss the Hydra. Yeah, there's a Hydra there as
This
well.
is a really interesting list. No level 4.
No.
Heavens again.
No shadow magic.
Yeah. Heavens, that's
Interesting. I mean, there's obviously 9 Brolocks, which are... ugh. But I'm going to give him a pass because the rest of his list is...
anyone who brings a dragon automatically
Yeah,
gets
he's got an order on a
points.
dragon for a start.
Yeah.
I think this is quite a very interesting list. Like I say, it's a positive. Like, you rate a plus Dark Elf list, you get some kudos, like regardless.
There's a big block of Cold One Knights as well, which presumably the Cold One Master's going in as well.
Hilarious.
But you don't...
Their stupidity test, though.
you don't see that, though.
No, you don't.
Like,
No, you don't.
Cold One Knights.
Like, hats off. There's things in this list that you very rarely see. Certainly in competitive lists, I think it's very cool. And then there's Doomfire Warlocks, where they literally must be in a breeding camp.
Apparently, Malika's banning of male sorcerers is just ignored all the time.
Just like his rightful claim to the throne of Ulthuan.
Well, that should be ignored because it's not real. No matter what old world says, but enough on that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
List 2.
Yes, list 2.
Talking about the boy.
Oh, here he is. Malekith on Seraphon. And then 2 Masters on Dark Pegasi. And then the core is 2 sets of 14 Dark Shards and 10 Dark Riders. And then a War Hydra, which I didn't miss this time. 5 Doomfire Warlocks. And a Great Black Dragon.
I mean, double dragon list. Bravo, sir. Like, just bravo. Bravo.
-3 as well.
I mean, of course it is. I mean, it's got Malekith for a start. Jesus Christ. But this is fast. This is very mobile. This will pick the fights it wants to pick. Like
1,200 points on 2 units. Legend.
2 single characters. Like, fucking absolute ballsy. The Great Black Dragon and Malekith on his dragon. Like, never mind that you see the couple of masters on Pegasi. Definitely don't assume one of those got the Twilight Cloak.
Oh yeah, that
And it's
3-up
probably
ward.
definitely not the guy with the lance who can then kill things on the charge comfortably.
Don't give people clues.
I mean, I'm just assuming. I don't know what's in the list. I'm guessing.
That I like that 10 Dark Rider thing because that will be a scoring unit.
It is.
Yep.
It's possibly the fastest scoring
So
in the game.
It can shoot out, claim whatever it wants, shoot anything to bits with its crossbows, and
Then run away.
then run away. And wait until they've moved off and claim the objectives and stuff. So I like that.
Yeah, it's very interesting for sure. Anyone who takes Malekith and then another dragon deserves a bit of a round of applause.
I do like the Dark Elves. They're increasing the dragon contingent here, which I shouldn't really give praise to Dark Elves, but you can't really avoid it.
This is my because it's got double dragon and Malekith. This is my second favorite Dark Elf list.
This is gonna. I'm trying to picture what this is going to look like on the board.
Small.
Yeah.
This is my not from a out and out competitor, but this is my second favorite one just because it's got double dragon and a Hydra
And Malekith.
I think it caused people a lot of problems if you're not teched out for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the Dark Riders are going to be hard to catch, but the Dark Shard units are, depending on what you've got to counter them, fairly easy to move off. But it's going to be interesting to see it in play.
Everything else is either going to run over you and turn around, or run around you, and you spend the rest of the game turning your big blocks around to try and point at it.
You're talking about moving things around. That then, and avoiding things, you want to then take us onto the next Dark Elf list, which is
here we go.
All sorts of disgusting.
Oh wow! So the Lords, Dreadlord, and a Dark Pegasus, Supreme Sorceress, Law of Death,
Hero
on a Dark Steed. So it's just fast cavalry. I wonder where she's going. There's an assassin. I haven't seen many of them. There's a master, 2 masters on Dark Steeds, one of which is the BSB, a sorceress on a Dark Steed on Shadow, level 1. 3 sets of 10 Dark Riders, 2 Bolt Throwers, and then 13 Warlocks, and then a unit of 6 Warlocks, and then 1 cold one from Storm and Magic.
This is disgusting.
For -3.
It is. This is a nasty. It's a dark elf, full dark elf avoidance list that just brings so much to the table from a ranged threat and magic threat. This is going to be a one to watch for me. Like, this list will be one to watch up there because this is very threatening, and it's got 3 blocks of very fast, very mobile scoring units.
Arguably, Dark Riders are the best scoring unit in this comp.
Oh yeah. I think this is going to be I think this is a list to watch personally. I mean, I think having read it, I need to go have a shower.
How are you going to catch this?
Well, that indeed is the question, isn't it?
You're going to have a lot of archers or something to chip away at all this. Because otherwise, you're never going to catch it in combat, are you?
This list deserves getting. Well, actually, to be fair, this is going to be a one to watch for me. I think this one's going to be up there challenging. And it comps well as well.
It's only -3.
So I mean, at -3, it comps very well.
She's that sorceress, Dark Steed. She's fast cavalry, so she's going in probably the Warlocks, right?
Yeah, she'll be in the block of 13 along with the cat.
Yeah. So you just park that on the side of one or other of the opposing army, cast a certain spell, regenerate all your dice. Oh, Cardiff, you can't do that, can you?
Maximum of 12 in a phase.
Maximum of 12 in a phase. Oh, well, in that case, take it all back. This is easy.
But that's 3 Doombolts a turn coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Dark Riders just zip in and claim the objective.
Look, I think it's a very, very strong list. I think from the list we've looked at, from an overall up there, I'd be putting this one up there with that demon list that we talked about for like a real challenge.
Look, Sorceress level 1 on Shadow, so that's going to be miasma, right? For -1 for the initiative. So what do you stop? The Doombolts, the Purple Sun, the -1 to initiative, or the -D3 to initiative.
This list is
what do you do?
Level 1 magic phases.
I'll tell you what this list doesn't want to play against. An Old Slanesh demon list.
Oh my god! I mean, hilarious. No ward save for you. No ward save for you. But yeah, no. This list's going to be. I think this is going to do good things in the comp.
Again, 3 very different.
Yeah, well, next one is a more traditional one, I think.
It's a very traditional
dark elf list. This one, plus a spicy thing in rare.
Morathi is the general, Death Hag BSB on the Cauldron of Blood, and a sorceress on the Lower Beasts level 1. 25 Witch Elves for full command, 10 Dark Shards for standard, and then 2 sets of 5 Dark Riders, 24 Executioners, 2 Bolt Throwers, and a Bloodrack Medusa and a Great Fire Dragon.
I mean, other than the Bloodrack Medusa and obviously the Fire Dragon, like Stan said it, that is a very traditional Dark Elf list, and it comps accordingly at -5.
Yeah. -5.
Witch Elf unit. It's a very small Witch Elf unit.
Well, I mean, you put your Death Hag in there, it's still going to be running a horde in it on the Cauldron.
Yeah.
What's going with the Cauldron then? Because the Executioners could go in it.
Could, but they're not going to.
What would they be with a Medusa?
No,
or is she an independent thing?
It's an independent.
Is it?
Beast, a monstrous creature. Yeah. It's got a wild death stare. I mean, they can do amazing things, but I mean, they're essentially rubbish. That's why they're plus comp.
Is the Great Fire Dragon the level 4?
Oh, I don't know.
Or do you have to? I can't remember.
I don't know. It's good, but like, look, it's a -5 list for a reason, because it's a very traditional, for the most part, give or take a couple of unit sizes, Dark Elf list.
Yeah, 25 is quite small for.
Yeah. Stan called it small.
How many score? Only 3 scoring units because the executioners are as well.
Look, Stan, I don't mean it in a derogatory sense, but it's very, very typical Dark Elf list, and comps accordingly. Unlike our next one,
which is wow.
This
is
my favourite Dark Elf list.
So the Lords, High Beastmaster on a Manticore. Recover from that. And a Supreme Sorceress on Death on a Black Dragon.
Legend.
Then 25 Bleak Swords. 10 Dark Riders.
I had to actually check my army book because I didn't know what Bleak Swords were.
You play Dark Elves.
And I play Dark Elves.
There's 10 Dark Riders with Standard Bearer, 14 Dark Shards. That's more like it with Standard Bearer. 2 War Hydras, and then a Bloodrack Shrine and 2 Charybdises for a +7.
Phenomenal.
Things you never see. High Beastmaster Generals on a Manticore. Bleak Swords.
Solo Wizard on a Dragon.
Yeah.
Double Charybdis, double Hydra. Frankly, I legitimately love this list for all the right reasons. Look at how many monsters you've got on a board. I love it.
That is a proper Monster
Mash list. And frankly, I think it's ace. At +7, bravo. I love it.
Bloodrack Shrine, is that the same as the Medusa? Yeah.
It's the Medusa on a chariot.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll go in with the Bleak Swords.
That's what I was thinking.
It's
when I was thinking of Medusa.
It's the other thing like a cauldron that no one makes because they make the cauldron, except this person who's an absolute hero. Running this Monster Mash list, I love it. I genuinely love it. It makes us smile, to be honest.
I think it could catch people out.
It will catch people out. It 100% will catch some people out. I love it. Genuinely, I think hats off. It's a really, really cool list.
Kind of wish I'd done my Archmage on Death on a Star Dragon, seeing this now, but never mind. Maybe next year.
But if I'm going to take me punt for highest finishing Dark Elf, I'd love it to be the Monster Mash, but I'd be stunned.
Not the Avoidance.
If it wasn't the Avoidance Dark Elf list.
Yeah, that's got top 3 written all over it. Never mind Best in Faction.
Yeah.
So next is Dwarfs, of which there are an amount.
Quite a few.
4 of us?
4. Sorry, yeah, 4 of you.
4.
And this one's my favourite dwarf list.
But this first one, of course it is,
Yep.
because I have to see what it's got in it.
The Lords, it's got Unger Mindfist. Heroes, it's got a Runesmith and a Thane BSB. Core, it's got 38 Longbeards and 2 sets of 12 Quarrelers. And then it's got a Cannon, a Gyrocopter, and 39 Slayers.
39 Slayers.
Special.
This is why it's Stan's favourite list.
And an Organ Gun.
With these plethora of Slayers.
-1 comp.
I mean, that is 2 massive hordes of dwarfs.
Longbeards, they're meet psychology, right?
No, reroll Panic.
Reroll Panic.
And Fear and Terror, is that right?
We'll come back to that. So there's 4 units which you can all...
4 scoring.
Yeah, they all can score. Yeah,
4
that's right.
scoring units, 2 of which are incredibly difficult to shift.
Yeah, they're immune to psych.
Yeah, sword and board Longbeards are brilliant. I think they're excellent. I think it's a really good list. I think it's really cool. And 39 Slayers be ballsy.
39 Longbeards, 5 up ward if they're charged. Presume the Runesmith's in there, so they've got strength 4 -2 AP.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean,
some
jazzy stuff making them stubborn, possibly. Don't know, but I mean they're dwarfs anyway. And then an unbreakable horde of Slayers with Ungramin is just respect.
Do they get the 5-up? Oh, there's a rune for the 5-up shooting ward, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I can't assume that Thane BSB has a master rune of something on there. Definitely.
Presumably.
Because it would only
gyro, but
well, the Slayers could actually be carrying it.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, they could, because they can take a 75-point magic item as well.
100 point with Ungrim being the general.
Yeah. Yeah. So spicy.
So that's
one cannon, one organ gun as well. Like, hats off.
Yeah, not relying on the artillery rather than the big block of.
Unlike list 2.
List 2, yeah, slightly different.
Who we also this next one, who we also know, and I hope you're ashamed of yourself taking all this artillery. You know who you are.
It's a refined version of his last list.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So the lords, it's the dwarf lord on shield bearers. Heroes: Grim Burlixon, 2 runesmiths, and a Thane BSB. Core: 24 longbeards, 20 thunderers, and then specially we go a cannon, a grudge thrower, 2 gyrocopters, 23 iron breakers, and then 2 organ guns.
Actually, to be fair, it doesn't have as many guns in as I thought he was taking, to be fair to him. I mean, not to be fair, it's still a lot of guns.
This is what I fought on the practice game.
Yes.
This is what the Phoenix Guard had to stand in the middle of, like, a completely open terrain, getting blasted by for a turn.
What it does have is 2 very difficult to shift units. Like, I know they're not huge, but 24 sword and board longbeards and 23 iron breakers are not going anywhere fast.
With all the shooting I've got and Pit of Shades, I still couldn't get the entire unit of longbeards by the end. Yeah. There was still a unit of characters.
They just picking up on it. The 20 Thunderers, short of the mission where you can park something in your deployment zone. It's not really a scoring unit.
Well, it's a scoring unit, the fact that they're not going to die.
Yeah, but they're not going to be like the mission where you've got to get to the middle or get into your opponent's deployment zone.
Or unless you ambush them like a legend.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's kind of like...
Stroller's rune.
Yeah.
If someone puts Strollers on Thunderers, those people are both insane and a hero.
Can't be done, sadly. I've looked at it. It'll end.
No, of course you have.
I suppose the problem with Thunderers is if you put them on the back line, they've got a shorter range. But if you move them up, they can't shoot. So where do you put them on these objectives?
They've got the threat, though, haven't they? They're still
yeah.
Like 20.
They're a frightening unit.
Yeah. And then takes us on the only positive scoring dwarf list.
I just want to say, there's a special place in hell for people who bring 2 gyrocopters, but moving on.
Or 2 organ guns. The people who bring double are really disgusting people.
Unless it's Phoenixes, that's an exception. So this one, is this the only one we know? Heroes: Runesmith, who's the general, Thane BSB, and a master engineer. 36 longbeards and 10 thunderers. And then special, a cannon, a grudge thrower, 2 gyros, 35 hammerers. And then in rare, 19 iron drakes and an organ gun for a +1.
Without giving away any of your actual hidden stuff, Stan, obviously it's your list.
Yep.
Well, moving on to the next one.
No, it's pretty standard, You've got the hammers.
I love hammers.
Excellent unit.
Yeah, I like hammers.
They're just so good. Like 2 attacks each. They're just... Then, if you pardon my language, they're just not to be fucked with.
Potentially strength 7 on the charge.
Yeah. Angry, stunty little guys with big hammers.
The 36 longbeards aren't going to go anywhere.
No, I mean, that is a fairly large, fairly difficult unit to shift. Like, 36 sword and board longbeards is just... Ugh.
Normally...
They're immune to psychology. The hammers are stubborn.
Yeah.
The Iron Drakes, there's a lot of missions that require units to be moving around, getting to places. So the short range of the Iron Drakes isn't the penalty it normally is.
And they can move and shoot, can't they? Because they're quick to fire.
quick to fire.
Yeah.
Strength 5 armor, piercing, flaming.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously we chatted through your list, and I like it, to be honest. And I think you went the same way I would do with a lot of dwarfs, and I don't think dwarfs need lords. I mean, and if you're going to do it, you take Ungram hero.
Oh yeah, you take 50 slayers with strollers.
Yeah, and if you're going to do it properly. But I think this is a good, solid dwarf list. To be fair, I actually think all the dwarf lists have got are good in their own ways.
They're not as varied as some of them because there's only so much you can do with dwarfs.
Yeah, but like one of them's got Slayer. They're different though, aren't they?
They're all different.
They're not that similar that you can't see genuine differences in them and see different flavors of dwarf. But you are the only positive stand, so regardless of anything else happens, you've got the moral victory here.
Thanks a lot. Then on to the last one, which is
the last one.
Yeah, this one is a true gun line.
It's a Lord on Shield Bearers, Thane BSB, a Runesmith, 15 Thunderers, another 15 Thunderers, 20 Longbeards, 38 Hammerers, and then a cannon, 2 gyros, a flame cannon, and an organ gun. So there's your artillery park for a -1.
There's a lot of guns coming your way.
And a horde of hammerers once you get through the guns.
And a Lord.
A Lord on Shield Bearer will be essentially unkillable.
Quite a lot of Lords in these dwarf lists, considering
more than you often see, to be honest.
To be fair, I'm the only one without a Lord.
Yeah, I think it's unusual for dwarves to have so many Lords. But
I wonder what he's got.
Nice to see the variety, to be fair. Nice to see the variety.
Double gyro again.
Not that variety.
Hate that.
It automatically populates in your list builder.
Yeah.
Unique. Not one use only.
Yeah. You get a warning if you don't seem to have 2 gyros in there. Are you sure on this?
Well, and then from dwarfs and your fluffy take on the whole event to somebody else that we know.
Oh yes, and the best ones.
The other side of the War of Vengeance.
The War of the Beards.
2 secs, lads. I've just got to go and let the dog out.
Roger.
I mean, look at this hot mess.
I'm not just leaving now because it's high else.
I mean, we couldn't blame you for doing it.
Well, readers, this is my list, and the comp's wrong because I can't read. So it's actually comp 0, not comp -2. So I may have caused a complete redraw.
Look at you getting your moral victory, and I'm not a minus, not a positive either, are you, you filth fest?
This is less of a positive than my last one with the Phoenixes.
Yeah, it is. It's a much better list, like, to be fair.
I think I'll have a lot more fun playing this list.
Like, you and I have chatted through this list before. I'll let you read it out before we sort of go into any force.
I'll wait till start. Well, no, who knows how long he'll be. So it's an Archmage on Shadow, a Sea Helm BSB, a Handmaiden of the Everqueen, 30 Archers, 30 Spearmen, 39 Phoenix Guard. Yeah. 5 Shadow Warriors, 2 repeatable throwers.
Swallow you like sick that I assume you just had in your mouth.
Well, they don't come in units less than 39 or 38. That's the standard size. I don't know what. Yeah,
Stan said earlier, a self-populating thing on battle screen.
It does. Yeah, it's like it flashes up red. Like you have not added the bare minimum of Phoenix Guard, which is 38.
Taken a horde of an elite, a high elf unit. What is wrong with you?
2 Bolt Throwers, 2 Eagles, and 20 Sisters of Avalon for a 0, not a -2.
Like, to be fair, I don't want to give too much in, don't want to over critique your list. We've chatted about enough. Like, I think this is I think it's quite spicy, and I think some of the things in there will catch some people out, and you don't see Sisters at all. Because let's be honest, it's them or Frost Phoenixes, and you haven't taken Frost Phoenixes, you've taken them.
No Frost Phoenixes. I thought we'd try something different after 5 Frost Phoenixes before.
Yeah. But that is a bloody big unit of Phoenix Guard.
3 scoring units, almost like I planned it, but I didn't. It's a shooty list for a change, I think.
It is.
Except for that massive block of Phoenix Guard in the
I
middle.
was you say that, but it's also got a huge horde of Phoenix Guard. Yeah. And Shadow, I think, combines incredibly well with your list.
Well, the dream is everything goes into Phoenix Guard, and I cast Mind Razor on them,
and then things are no longer in your Phoenix Guard.
and then it's just they just vanish
There's just
into some
Phoenix
sort of
Guard left.
dust. Yeah, that would be ideal, but we'll see if it happens or not. There's a load of more stuff in Shadow that's really good. So Pit of Shades
Oh, we've got
gets
to
you
see
out quite a lot.
high elf lists.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Good.
So we'll not ramble on about mine, but
I mean,
that's that one.
That's a lot of disgusting high elves to talk through. So let's
Yeah,
park
we
your
might have to-
filth and move on to the next one.
Yeah, we might have to go rapidly through the high elves. So the next one is level 4 Archmage on Shadow, and then a level 2 on High Mage, and then a Noble BSB. 30 Spearmen, 10 Archers, 2x5 Illyrian Reavers with bows, and 20 Phoenix Guards. I think that must be a misprint because you can't have that few. 30 White Lions, and then a Frosty, 2 Eagle Claw both those, and a Great Eagle for -2.
I mean, it's not a total title because at least there's the horde of white lions in there.
Yeah, you've got to.
White lions.
I do like the combination of those two because they do different things.
Oh, well, one it's a hammer and anvil, isn't it?
Yeah, the Phoenix Guard aren't going anywhere, and the White Lions will just kill pretty much anything.
Yeah, and with Shadow, that block of 30 spearmen could reasonably become an incredible combat threat.
Yeah. And there's a Frosty.
And there's a Frosty in there which needs dealt with.
The thing I've ran a list quite similar to this before, and this is the only thing I've found is where you take a level 4 and a level 2 on High, you run out of dice really quickly because Shadow is it's expensive to cast
you need
it.
to cast High if you want to get your ward save off.
That's the thing. You're always thinking, I need to cast the High spell to get me +1 to the ward save, and people know that, so they just counter it, and you've wasted it, and then you don't have enough dice left to cast what you need in Shadow. So I tried this at Graham's event.
Gold Dragon is.
Well, yeah, that as well.
Assume.
You can pretty much assume the level 4's also carrying the pamphlet.
Well,
yeah.
Once you qualify from Archmage school, you get a Talisman of Preservation and a Book of Oath.
I don't see what the issue is. Like, they printed a lot.
It's a copy. If you don't have a Lariel or Teclius or well timed to take us onto the next list, both you bad man.
Yeah, you know who you are.
You know who you are, and frankly, this type of nonsense is gonna people don't want to play with you anymore because you're a bad person.
This is the second lowest comp score in the tournament, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So he's got Alariel and Teclis as the lords.
Jesus Christ.
So the Ever Queen and the most powerful magic user on the planet, just together. Core Hill, so the captain of the White Lions nipped along, and a Lothern Sea Helm. And then he's got 21 Archers, 5 Illyrian Reavers, 25 Sea Guard, 21 Phoenix Guard, 25 White Lions, and that's it for a comp score of -7.
-7, and you want to be ashamed of yourself. It's just,
it would never.
I take it back. This list deserves double 1 magic phases.
It would never occur to me to put Alariel and Teclis in the same list.
Oh, it's filthy.
I mean, that's probably just enough of a summary. I mean, it relies a lot on magic, obviously, but naturally because they're elves, there's some good, decent sized blocks in there that threatening alternative ways that are good scoring units as well. But I mean, it does obviously want a good magic phase. So
it's Teclis, isn't it? So your good elven blocks are just going to get
better,
turbocharged with amphetamine with all of his
buffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be shocking if you missed casting wouldn't died. That's all I'm saying.
You can re-roll it.
Well,
You can discard. You can ignore it. Sorry.
Only the first one.
Well, everybody gets one.
Every tech list gets one.
And she can heal him if he does something bad happens to him. Core Hill's going to make the Phoenix Guard, I'm assuming, stubborn.
White Lions are already stubborn.
White Lions are already stubborn. So she'll give them the ward save, I'm assuming. And probably Techless because he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
So,
Ugh.
yeah.
Ugh.
I don't think I've ever brought a -7, even with my Banner of the World Dragon list. So
I mean,
he's done well.
-7, like, almost deserves an award by itself. If it wasn't for the other list, that's even filthier. But like that is.
Wasn't Techless is -4 by himself, I think.
And the Everqueen's -2.
She might be -3.
Which it deserves to be -3. The only thing
She's
that's not good
not-
for it doesn't have a Frost Heart in. And none of the block
I don't know where-
boards.
I don't know where you would add one. You'd have to drop one of these.
We'd have to drop one of those casters. That's why sane people don't take both of them. Well,
6, 7, 800 points.
that all said.
He's another high elf one. So Archmage, Lower Shadow, level 4. 3 nobles, 2 on Great Eagles, and one on foot as a battle standard bearer. 2 sets of 6 silver helms, 6 reavers, and 15 archers, and then 24 Phoenix Guard and 12 Dragon Princes, which I love that. I like Dragon Princes. And then 2 repeater bolt throwers and a Great Eagle for -4.
I'm almost surprised this con comes out at a -4, to be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, quite like a genuinely interesting high elf list. I mean, not the level 4 on Shadow, because you may or not have seen one of those in almost every other list bar in the last crazy one.
Well, Shadow, for the way this comp is set up,
It syncs
where
so well with high elves anyway. Like when I played Wood Elves, I always ran Shadow as well. It's so good. So good.
part of my thinking for Shadow as well is it works, but if Tomb Kings are going to be the big thing because they're getting quite a lot of buffs, what have you got that can deal with toughness 8? And high elf really not that much.
I mean, you could just not deal with it and leave the poor Tomb Kings alone.
Well, that was my. I'm not trying to justify it. I'll take whatever law I want.
It's an interesting take on an avoidance list.
It's an unusual list for sure, and it's got what 1, 2, 3, 4 scoring units, 2 of which are only 6 strong silver helms.
The Reavers won't be because they're like. Oh, sorry, no, yeah, the Dragon Princes.
Yeah,
The 2 silver helm units, the Phoenix Guard, and the Dragon Princes.
Yeah, it's an interesting list. It's different. You don't see that sort of list ever, and double noble on an eagle. Like, cool.
I've never known why 10 plus Dragon Princes is a minus. Because they're not like devastating. I mean, on a charge they are,
They're good.
but
They're like 2 attacks each. Good all.
they're good with Shadow. I mean, you get Mind Razor off on them, or drop the toughness of whatever they're going into with 2 attacks each. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But then they're fighting out for the Razor Standard with the Phoenix Guard because they both would be good with Razor Standard.
Yeah, I mean, it's yet another just dirty negative high elf list.
It's only -4. It's nothing like the last one.
It's practically clean versus the previous list.
That looks very quick, like almost like the Phoenix Guard are
So,
almost going to be left
I mean, they're
behind.
elves,
But then
moving 5s. I mean, they're still 10 inches a turn, aren't they? But yes,
then they can
the list.
They can defend the home objective though, or the middle of the ground,
Yeah, well,
middle of the board. So
chill out in the back.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this high elf list playing that dark elf avoidance list?
That would be interesting.
Dog elves.
They would just
Yeah,
be
probably.
dancing around each other.
It's mobile, but it's not that mobile.
It hasn't got the shooting,
Nah.
like the silver helms and that.
We're starting to see a trend on what certain things are in high elf lists, though. As we move on to this next one, certain
Speaking of which,
repeated, don't they?
Lawmaster of Hoeth
I mean, not that
as a general.
ballsy.
No, that's good. Archmage on Shadow, and then a Noble BSB. Light armor. Interesting. Light armor and shield.
You sound confused because they normally come with whatever that armor is you give them.
Dragon armor.
That's the one.
Must be a reason behind that. Or heavy armor you can give them.
Point? I think it's just point.
5. It could be, but it's 2499. So you probably could anyway. No, I'll read the rest of the list. 5 Reavers, 23 Archers. I like that. 20 Sea Guard, 28 Phoenix Guard, 25 White Lions, and 3 Bolt Throwers for a -2.
Again, no Frostheart.
No. No Horde. Well, no 40 strong Horde anyway. Where would
Do you think Frosthearts have gone out of vogue since that Joker took 5 of them and had a terrible weekend at the last event?
I didn't have a terrible weekend. I just didn't. The guy didn't have a terrible weekend. He just didn't really enjoy playing his list all that much. I don't think I'm that influential on the high elf community that everyone's going to change taking Frosthearts.
Or are you?
We'll see.
No.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So next list.
Next one.
So many times we can talk about a Phoenix Guard block or a White Lion block or a level Shadow.
Stop being bitter. So it's Techless Noble BSB on a Steed. That's interesting. 2 sets of Reavers, 20 Sea Guard, 8 Silver Helms, 9 Dragon Princes, a Lion Chariot, I like that, and 27 Phoenix Guard. Frostart Phoenix has appeared, and 2 Bolt Throwers for -6. That's quite a big negative. That.
Yeah, it is. Well, Techless and on the Law of 8 Battle Magic is.
He's -4 at least.
Yeah, he's a tough cookie, especially on the Law of Battle Magic. I think, to be honest, picking your spells just gives you just such range with your magic to tailor your matchup to however you need.
So yeah, the noble is going to go on the Silver Helms. That's interesting.
Dragon Princes.
Yeah, it could go into Dragon Princes.
Dragon Princes. Either or. I like the Lion Chariot.
Oh yeah,
Stubborn,
it's cool.
Stubborn Chariot.
Like that. It's a big minus at -6. To be fair, I don't think it. At first glance, I don't know what sneaky things are in there. It doesn't look like it justifies its minus as much as some of the other lists.
It's just like the high elf comp. You just pick up these minuses here and there, and it all adds up. Especially with Techless, you start with -4. Next one, Archmage on High Magic, and then a Prince on a Steed, Caradrian with Ashtari, best mate, Fire Mage, and a Noble BSB, and then 11 Archers, 2 sets of 5 Reavers, 7 Silver Helms, and 15 Spearmen, 26 Phoenix Guard, and 12 Swordmasters, and then 2 Great Eagles for -2. Nice. I tried Swordmasters at Derby.
You did not like them,
they just
die. Yeah, they're ace.
To get there,
they're the ultimate glass cannon, aren't they?
Yeah, but you can so easily just shoot them to pieces before they even get to combat.
12 of them seems very light.
I wonder if it's like a...
It's not a score unit, though, so it is just almost a little... I don't want to say a throwaway unit because they're 166 points, but...
Well, it might be a trade, so they can...
Yeah, exactly.
Have 12, yeah. They can dish out a hell of a lot of attacks if they get there.
Yeah, I mean... 18 attacks from that unit? 19 with the champion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting pretty much everything on 3s. Strength 5. Yeah, it's not to be sniffed.
Pretty good. Yeah. I wonder what the Law of Fire Mage is for. I don't really see that very often.
I would imagine they don't have a lot else to get rid of any ethereal.
Ethereal? No, there isn't, is there? High Magic's got Soul Quench.
Yeah, it does. That's what I mean. Like, I think it's another option to get rid of ethereal. And you need someone to carry your Dispel Scroll because the Archmage is going to have the Book of Hope and the Talisman of Preservation.
That's where it is. Yeah, he's already full.
So he got to school and he got given his little pamphlet And he's
You've got to read it all.
you are the
So
only
that's the-
person in High Elves not with a negative list.
Well, you know, if I don't like to show off, but
This is the only time. I mean, it's relative because you've got the moral high ground versus these other people who are playing High Elves, and these
I was gonna say,
people are bad people, especially one
does
of them,
that give
and they know who they are.
does that give me the moral high ground of High Elves?
Amongst High Elves, but I mean, it's a low benchmark.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
you know, that's who's the best murderer.
Aye, yeah.
Well,
Kids than you. That's essentially what you're saying.
that's the end of the High Elves. Where you stop griefing them. We're on to the Lizard Men.
2 of them.
Which there are 2 of them.
Both
the first one.
Zeros.
Yeah, very good. I could be against one of these if we redraw it. First one is a Slan on the Law of Light. Good choice. Old Blood
Combos
on a
so
cold
well
one
for Lizard Men because
Yes.
essentially it takes away so many of their weaknesses.
Gorok is the hero.
Love them.
Is a hero. 40 Saurus Warriors with spears. 2 sets of 10 Skinks with javelins. A Bastillodon with a solar engine. 5 Cold One Riders. 3 Ripidactyls. And 26 Temple Guard for a score of 0.
It's 2. Well, Gorok makes the unit stubborn. So between the Slan in the Temple Guard and Gorok in the 40 block of Saurus, that is 2 very difficult to move blocks of lizards.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And the rest of the army is essentially chaff.
Is that a cowboy there?
I mean, he's an
Do
uber
you
cowboy because he's an old blood rather than the hero version.
Oh, no. There is 5 Cold One Riders you could go in.
Yeah, he will. Those 5 Cold One Riders are a delivery system for that old blood.
Yeah.
If he's he's got a halberd, so he hasn't gone really ballsy and taken the sword of bloodshed. That's ballsy. That's how you run an old blood, kids.
That's a massive amount of Temple Guard as well, at 26.
26 is the standard size for a Temple Guard block.
Shows what I know about Lizard.
And it should have. There is a standard in there.
Yeah, good luck shifting that. The other way to do it for a 0 is a Slan level 4 on Shadow. Again, popular lore. Old Blood with a great weapon on a cold one. Teto Echo, hero again. 39 warriors, full command. 4 sets of 10 skirmishers, 2 with javelins, 2 with blowpipes. 10 chameleon skinks, 5 cold one riders, 3 rotodactyls, a steg, and 20 temple guard.
If I'm honest, I prefer the first list.
Yeah, it's similar, but like we differ with the numbers, just tweaked.
It's similar. I think the other one. I think the first list is just a better all-round list, in my honest opinion. I think it synergizes better. I love Teto Echo. He's incredible, and Lawmaster on Heavens is incredibly useful. But I don't think this list has got enough of the things that I think goes with Teto Echo to really utilize and maximize his strengths of Vanguard as well. But I mean, it's still a cool list. And there's a big similarities between them, but I prefer the first one as a Lizard Man player personally. I don't know what you think, Stan.
I just probably the same as you're thinking. The 2 blocks of Temple Garden Warriors seem a little bit on the small side. You know, I think
in this comp,
if I drew the first list, it's going to be a slugfest for who's going to break first against the first list. For the second list, I fancy my chances of my hammers taking it down in 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's how many Temple Guard die if the Slan miscast and rolls a 7?
Oh, a lot.
Because that's going to be quite a lot if you've only got 20. But I'm not a Lizard Man player, so
it's not criticizing the second list. It's got some good things with it. I just personally prefer the first list. I think it's more sound for the comp, is my opinion. But I still like the list. A lot of skinks.
Onto the most.
That's a lot of poison attacks.
40 skinks. Well, the ogres are the most well represented of these, so apologies if we skip through these quite quickly. There's only so much really you can do with the core of an ogre army.
There is, and again, like naturally, as we mentioned at the start, tally comps and restrictive comps where there's only so many positive options available. And yet then once you get multiple lists, you will tend to see a bit of homogenization, I think.
And the ogres are slightly better than the CDs, but they have a very similar problem of there isn't that much in the way of competitive units in the book.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, the first one is Lord Slaughtermaster on the Great Moor, level 4. Bruiser BSB and a Fire Belly. 9 Iron Guts, 6 Ogres, and then a special 8 Lead Belchers with a Musician, 3 Lead Belchers with a Musician, 4 Mournfang Cavalry. I think that's supposed to be 2 Saber-Tusk packs. I'm not sure what's happened there.
There's 1 Saber-Tusk packs.
I see.
I think it's supposed to read as 2 individual Saber-Tusks.
Got it. And an Iron Blaster for -3 comp.
Pretty standard ogre list.
Yeah, like, and I don't. Yeah, and I withstand. I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's other than the multiple lead belchers, it's pretty standard.
Yeah,
that's a lot of shooting coming at you for that.
A lot of
shooting. The Birdman lead belchers a bit different, but
yeah,
I like it. It'll
yeah.
rip apart high elves, so anything with light armor.
Oh yeah, I mean if they've got a hit, but what? I mean like that's 11d6 lead belcher shots coming at you. And 4 Mournfang is a good size unit of Mournfang. It's the standard size unit of Mournfang, but it's good. I'm not actually a huge fan of the level 4 and more personally, but that's personal preference.
Well, the next one is same Slaughtermaster on the Great Moor, a Bruiser BSB, Butcher level 2 on Heavens this time. 7 Iron Guts, 10 Ogres, and then a special 3 Rhinox Riders, 4 Mournfang Cavalry, 4 Lead Belchers, 2 Saber-Tusks, and an Iron Blaster again. So that's
like what Stan said before. It's very similar. It's the same competitive ones, except it drops Lead Belchers and it's got Rhinox Riders, which are just ridiculous.
They're the experimental rules ones.
Yeah, they're the ones that they created before the Ogre list. Realised they were outrageous, so created Mournfang.
But kept them for this. Yeah. Well, that's -3 as well. So it's Heavens instead of.
I think the Heavens is a good choice.
I like Heavens with Ogres, to be honest.
Again, counter some of the weaknesses.
Yeah, it's a personal preference. I don't like level 4 more particularly. I think it's personal preference. I like this, but that's again.
You only have to take a more work mage, so it's not like the highest level has to be more.
Yeah, they haven't got the Tomb King rule.
This is a slightly more negative list comp-wise. So Slaughtermaster level 4 on Heavens. So you'll approve of that, Scott?
I do. I think it's a good option, to be honest, and it's synergized with the rest of this filth fest of a list.
It's the Bruiser BSB, a Butcher on the Great Moor, level 2. 2 times 6 Iron Guts and Core, and then 2 sets of 3 Rhinox Riders.
There it is.
3 Lead Belchers, and 2 times 1 Saber-Tusks and an Iron Blaster for a -5. So we're sacrificing stuff to get.
Yeah, it's different in the fact that you've got a different magic choice, but I think Heaven synergizes as well by when you're running double Rhinox. I mean, you clearly can't sleep at night, and if you can, you're a lunatic, you're a psychopath. But speaking of double Grimhorn Rhinox Riders, takes us on to the next list.
So this is a 0, but it's got Greasus Goldtooth as the general.
Legend.
Interesting. Yeah. And a Hunter.
Man himself.
Yeah. 6 Iron Guts, 3 sets of 3 Ogres, and then 2 sets of 3 Rhinox Riders, and then 2 Iron Blasters for a flat 0.
I mean, when you can get double Rhinox Riders and double Iron Blaster and still come out with a 0, like, you're some sort of filth wizard. and you know who you are again. MSU Ogres of little units of 3, I actually think can be very effective. I think Ogres do MSU like in a stealth, very good way. But
So Rhinox Riders are scoring units, aren't they?
Yep, because of their monstrous cav with standards, they've only got to be 3 big.
Bloody hell.
So
And then add 2 cannons on the top of that.
Mobile cannons at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
8
For a 0
Rhinox
as well.
on the list.
For a 0 score as well, I think comps well.
What's the next one? This is a -4. So Slaughtermaster on the Great Moor, level 4. Bruiser BSB, a Butcher on Beasts, and a Firebelly on level 1. 8 Iron Guts, 6 Ogres in core, and then special 3 Man-Eaters, 3 Rhinox Riders, 3 Mournfang Cavalry, a Saber Tusk, and an Iron Blaster.
Yeah.
So I've added Man-Eaters here. I quite like them.
I like Man-Eaters, and I think his choice of Scout and Swift Stride are good next options as well. I like Stubborn and Swift Stride personally, but I think they're good. And like this person knows what he's doing with Ogres. But taking away the last, like the last one, you can see a lot of similarities that we said in the Ogre lists. Their strengths are their strengths, and their good options are their good options, and you see a lot of it. And that's not a dig by any stretch.
It's a competitive event, isn't it? You want
event,
what's
and
good.
the book doesn't have shed loads of competitive options.
The next one, this is a 0. So Slaughtermaster, Great Moor. Sorry, go on.
I do like this one.
This next
this one coming up.
Yeah.
So Slaughtermaster and Great Moor, Bruiser, a BSB, a Firebelly level 2, 7 Iron Guts, 11 Ogres, 4 Lead Belchers, 4 Mournfang Cav, a Stonehorn, and a Thunder Tusk. For a 0.
It's got double of the big monsters in, so you get cool points for that.
Yeah, I like that. That's a bit softer than the.
I think so. I think it's noticeably softer than a lot of the other Ogre lists. Not all, because I think one of the previous ones one of them had Greasus in. Legend.
That's still a 0 with 2
cannons. You get to a 0 with double cannon and double Rhinox, which just shows how wild the rest, how crap the rest of the list is.
Well, here's a positive one. Slaughtermaster on the Great Moor, Bruiser BSB, Firebelly, 2 Hunters, 6 Iron Guts, and then a unit of 6 Ogres and a unit of 4 Ogres, 3 Mournfang, and then 2 sets of 5 Saber Tusks, and then 1 Saber Tusk, and 2 Iron Blasters.
Now, this says a lot because actually it's +4 and it has 2 cannons. Hats off. The fact that he's taken double units of 5 Saber Tusks is very.
And double Hunter.
Double Hunter.
Double Hunter, yeah.
Yeah, it's different. It's a bit different. It's got a bit of a different flavour to it. It's +4, so bragging rights amongst the huge Ogre contingent.
The gut bus itself isn't going to be massive, is it? 6 plus 3 heroes.
Well, I was going to say then a character wall or whatever in it. So
yeah,
still not to be trifled with.
Greasus is back again. So next one,
Greasus. This is the greatest day for Ogres ever. Fat men everywhere. And there's a lot of them, and I can only support my support for this kind of nonsense.
We're not drawing the comparisons. So. So there's a Bruiser BSB, another Bruiser, a Butcher on the Great Moor level 2, 8 Iron Guts, 9 Ogres, and 4 Rhinox Riders, and a Giant for a -2.
I mean, it's got a Giant, and frankly, someone who we discussed his list earlier who took double cannons, who didn't take a Giant, needs to take a long hard look at himself. Liam.
Not very magic heavy either. Just 1 level 2.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you see the difference. Like there's a couple that have barely got any magic. That's because they've got Greasus, and Greasus is too important to share use space with a level 4.
It seems to be you go for a level 4 and a level 2 at least, and possibly a few lists have got the third caster in as well. Or you just go, I'll take a level 2 and just have more fat boys on the.
Yeah,
on the
I
board.
think again personally, I think ogres are a bit like dwarfs in the fact that you don't need level 4. Like I think you can get away without one, without a lord level general.
The fire bellies tend to be quite practical because you get the killing ethereal chaff and the breath weapon.
Useful. Yeah, not only that, but obviously you've got your level 2s to carry a Hellheart, which definitely may or may not be in lists.
In every one of these lists. That's credit for a giant as well.
Yeah, credit for a giant. Only one list of the ogres though, and that includes the last one we've got.
-5 this one. So Slaughtermaster level 4, Bruiser BSB, Firebelly level 2, 10 Iron Guts, 2 sets of 6 ogres, and then 3 Mournfang Cav, 2 Saber Tusks, I'm assuming by themselves there, 2 Iron Blasters, and a Thunder Tusk.
Yeah, -5.
-5.
Very standard. Very standard. Like double iron blaster. Bad people.
The character wall there with the 10 Iron Guts.
Wall, Mournfang. No Rhinox though, so hats off.
No, yeah, credit.
I mean, -5. You're a bad man. Bad man.
Here's that's the next one's Orcs and Goblins.
4 of them.
Here's a +10 to start with.
This guy is a legend. Stan, it's almost be yours.
No, it's got Forest Goblins in.
Almost could almost be yours, but yeah, you're right. Like this is cool. Like
I'm disgusted.
Is this actually a +11? But it's tapped out. It +10.
Capped.
Yeah. This is amazing. I love his rare slot. Love it.
So it's Skarsnik, 2 Night Goblin War Bosses, 1 on a Cave Squig, and then 1 Night Goblin Big Boss, and 2 Night Goblin Shamans. 51 Night Goblins, 30, and then a block of 30 Night Goblins with bows, and then 10 Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Then special 5 Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, 30 Night Goblin Squig Herds with 10 Handlers, 6 Trolls, and then 4 Snotling Pump Wagons, and 2 Mangler Squigs in rare. For +10. What are you going to do with that?
We're going to get hit by a lot of Fanatics, Manglers, and Pump Wagons.
6 Fanatics?
Or 9. Oh, no, sorry. Yes, there's only 2 Night Goblins. Sorry, you're right. 6 Fanatics, 2 Manglers, and 4 Pump Wagons.
Interestingly, the Pump Wagons with the Outrigger instead of the Roller.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I like the list, personally.
I love the list.
It's cool.
It looks very familiar.
That's, I mean, it's so similar to your list, with a couple of changes. Like, I like it. I like your list. I like this. Not your list for this event, but this is cool. And much like we said about Andy right at the start, if you're taking a +10, which are quite hard to get in this comp, like hats off. And this is done in a very cool way. It's very themed. I really like it a lot.
Is that the second +10 we've had so far?
Yeah, there's only 2 of them, I think. This one and
There's only 2. The next one's a positive comp as well.
That'll be an interesting game, Andy versus that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think there's a lot of challenges in this list for that Beastman list.
Yeah.
Impact hits.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's just a lot of random movement, a lot of random things. But Orcs and Goblins can get +10s like quite nicely, to be honest. And then this has got the opposite. Rather than a themed Night Goblin list, we then go into a themed of almost Savage Orc list.
I like this because you so rarely see it. So it's a Savage Orc War Boss on a Wyvern, Savage Orc Great Shaman, Heroes Savage Orc Big Boss as a BSB on a War Boar, and this Savage Orc Shaman on a War Boar. 49 Savage Orc Biggins, 10 Savage Orcs with bows.
Definitely not a Shaman going in there who has the lucky shrunken head.
Clearly not. 10 Savage Orcs with bows, 16 Savage Orc Boar Boys,
That is
and then 8
amazing.
River Trolls
Like,
for +7.
The most competitive way to run Orcs and Goblins is a gun line, which is disgusting and should not be the way to play Orcs and Goblins. So hats off to both of these lists for not doing that and taking proper themed lists. And I really like both of them.
Yeah, I really like this Savage Orc one.
Oh, the Savage Orc Boar Boys sit with a couple of characters in, like, I think is just freaking awesome. Like,
You never see that.
nah, you don't. Like, I really like it. I love the theme. Like, I really do. Hats off.
Next one is a +3. So it's Wurzag as the general, Black Orc Big Boss as the BSB, Savage Orc Shaman, and 2 Goblin Big Bosses in Wolf Chariots.
Heroes.
33 Savage Orc Biggins, 39 Night Goblins, and then 30 Black Orcs, 6 Trolls, and a Boar Chariot in Special, and a Giant and 2 Mangler Squigs in Rare.
I think this is cool as well. It's very different.
It's nice. A unit of Black Orcs to go with your Black Orc BSB. You don't see that very often.
No, I think to be able to take a Black Orc BSB, I think you should have to take a unit of Black Orcs.
No, they just go into other units just to quell animosity.
No, I know that's the upsetting part. But no, I like the list at +3.
I like it.
It's another cool different list.
Is this another? Oh no, this is the negative.
This is the only negative, and it's not.
The only negative one.
It's what you would probably call the very atypical competitive Orc and Goblin list. And that, again, I hadn't seen it before. I've just learned through it. Not a dig by any stretch. It's an event. It's a competitive event. You take the list you want to take. This is a much more standard Orc and Goblin list.
So it's the Black Orc War Boss, Savage Orc Great Shaman, and a Night Goblin Great Shaman, both level 4. Heroes, the Goblin Big Boss BSB, Orc Big Boss on a War Boar, and a Goblin Big Boss on a Giant Wolf. And then 28 Savage Orc Biggins with bows, 20 Night Goblins with short bows, and 20 Night Goblins just with shields. 8 Trolls, 2 Goblin Wolf Chariots, and then Rare, Squig Gobber, Doom Diver, 2 Rock Lobbers, and 2 Mangler Squigs for -4.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's Old Faithful, I think.
Look, it's not a dig. It's
going
to do what it's going to do, and it's going to do it well as well. Like, for clarity,
I'd say this is someone who brings Banner of the World Dragon, Alariel, White Lion Horde.
It's going to be a tough list to crack.
Especially that gun line.
Yeah.
That Squig Gobber as well is horrible.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's good. Like, it's a good list. It's a strong list.
Absolutely solid.
I expect it to do pretty well, to be honest. It's a good list.
-4. Skaven next.
Only one Skaven player.
One Skaven player, which is a +9.
+9. Like, there's something in this list which, frankly, I think this guy is an absolute hero for.
Yep.
So it's Skaven Warlord on a Warlitter is the general. Heroes, there's a Chieftain, BSB, and 2 Engineers. Core, 52 Clan Rats, 59 Giant Rats with 6 Packmasters and 3 Notes.
I'm not 100% sure who this is off the top of my head, but frankly, this guy is a hero.
20 Night Runners, 20 Clan Rats, and then 30 Plague Monks, 10 Gutter Runners, and then 2 sets of 5 Poison Wing Globadiers, 6 Plague Sensor Bearers, and then Rare, a Doom Wheel, a Hell Pit, and a Warp Lightning Cannon.
I love this.
+9.
59 Giant Rats.
What are you supposed to do about that?
And they get mutation as well, don't they?
Yeah, he can give them, I think it's
squeal. Honestly,
double attack, regen, or something else he can give them.
I mean, he hasn't even got a spellcaster in this list. I think it's amazing. I love it. Like, +9. Like, I love it. You crazy fool.
Oh, yeah, they would say, wouldn't it? The Warlock Engineer if he had magic. So
he's 45 and 40 points.
Presumably stuffed them with magic items.
At 45 points each? I don't think so.
Isn't it Warlock Engineer 15 points?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the dead cheap.
I might have something, but frankly, I love it. Even if they've got level 1s with Warp Lightning, I love the list. Love it. Love everything about it.
I like 59
Doom Wheel. very earned +9 there.
Yeah, hats off. Bravo.
Here's a +7 Empire list.
There's only 2 Empire lists this time.
Everyone's favourite general of the Empire as the Lord.
Like,
and then
I'll let you read out this list, and I've got my feelings on it. To be honest, I love it.
Captain of the Empire, BSB, Witch Hunter. I approve of that. 2 Master Engineers on the mechanical steed with the Hockland long rifle. 35 swordsmen. 35 swordsmen.
Sorry, it gets better. Keep going.
20 handgunners, and then 10 handgunners. 3 great cannons, 2 mortars, 5 pistoliers.
Twice.
2 hellblasters, yes. 2 hellblasters and 2 Hellstorm rocket batteries for +7.
This list, you know what I love about it? Genuinely, it is unashamedly a gun line. It's like magic. No, boss, not interested. Combat. No, boss, not interested. Shooting phase. We've got this.
This is the Nuln artillery train
Look at it. It's incredible. It's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 war machines, 2 fast carve units of guns, 2 handgun units of guns, 3 characters with 5 all of the characters have got guns. Like, it's just this list is amazing.
Sniping guns.
I mean, what it does well, it does very, very, very well, which is shoot.
Across a 5-game event, it's going to get that one game where turn 1, you just pick up your arm, shake your hand, and walk away.
It's honestly, it's amazing. Like, this list, and I think the reason I love it so much is because it is unashamedly what it is. Like, this is a gun line. What's your combat threat? I don't have a combat threat, you idiot. It's a gun line.
There isn't
Magic
one.
Phase? No. Magic's for losers. I'm here to bring guns, and I've got black powder. Let's do this.
So there's the 35 swordsmen and the General of the Empire for the combat punch.
The general's got a handgun.
Yes, he has.
The combat punch is the witch hunter.
Who's got a gun?
Who's got a gun? Oh, this list is brilliant.
Anyone who brings the rocket batteries as well, that's automatic win.
Double rocket battery, double mortar. What a legend.
More conventional Light Council coming up next.
This list is the Light Council list that won the event last time, and will do very, very well again.
Yeah, it's they're always good Light Councils, aren't they? Arch Lecter on the Sigmar wall, level 4 on light. 2 acolytes, level 1s on light. The captain is a BSB and a witch hunter, and then 46 halberdiers, 2 units of knights, 4 demigryph knights, 3 demigryph knights, a cannon and 2 tanks. So, I mean, it's a lot of range threat, a lot of magic threat.
I think the surprise there is that it's only -4.
-4.
So 1, it's a disgusting list. I mean, it's not mega disgusting. It does what it does. It's a very, very strong, very
efficient list.
I mean, it's got double stank, double demis, a light council. Yeah, it's a good list. Very good list.
Not looking at that witch hunter, but do you think he's got a shiny ring?
I mean, why the hell wouldn't he?
They come with him out of witch hunter school.
That or the real witch hunters come with a flying carpet.
So what's that? 1, 4, 5, 6. So that's strength 7 banishment you're getting out of the Arch Lecter, and then 3 cannons.
Yeah, it's
don't really need to say much more about that.
No, it's a very strong, very competitive list. It's the list that won it last year by the guy that won it last year, and he knows what he's doing. It's going to be a very competitive list.
When it comes to the Empire, I'm very surprised with the buffs that Tomb King's got and the lists, the amount of them that we're going to see coming up. I'm surprised there isn't more Light Councils.
I would take a Light Council if I had my Empire army.
Yeah, look, and lots of armies do Light Councils very well, but Empire can do it a lot easier than most and do it well, backing it up with combat punch and guns. Like that's a very good all-round list that will do well in every phase of the game.
I honestly thought we'd see 3 or 4 lists similar to this.
I mean, I nearly put
Especially after,
very similar to this, to be honest, with my Empire.
especially after Techless Gate, where he was so popular that they nerfed his comp score.
Which then takes us on to Tomb Kings, and there's 6 of them this time.
Wow. And the Tomb Kings got a plus 250 points point increase. They could take an extra 250 points, and they can march like VCs can, and their spells can heal constructs more than once. I think that was the buffs, wasn't it?
Once per cast rather than once per phase. And I'm taking Tomb Kings. I think they've had too many buffs.
Do they still start at +3 comp?
Yes. Yes.
Very strong.
Yeah, look, they are. I was already taking them anyway. Like after all the buffs, I did almost not take them, but then I took them because I paid the army.
Very generous of you.
I know. Thanks.
Well, here we go. Number 1 for +1 is Tomb King with a level 4 on Nehekara, and then a Leash Priest level 2. It doesn't actually say.
It doesn't say. It should say. But it
should say. And a Necrotect. I like Necrotects. Hatred, isn't it? They give.
It gives hatred, yeah.
20 archers.
Regen to construct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
2 sets of 20 archers, a set of 10 archers, 3 chariots, and then 10 horse archers. And special 2 war sphinxes and 45 tomb guards.
It's a chunky tomb.
It's a hell of a unit, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then rare, the Hyrule Titan, the Casket, and the Screaming Skull Catapult.
I will put a caveat on this list because this is who I've actually drawn in round 1.
Oh, is it?
And this list is incorrect.
Oh, there's not enough in core, is there?
No, his core's 80 odd points light.
It's because he's done his core for 2,500 and he needs to be for 2,750, which is a minimum core spend of 287.5.
Yeah, so they have got a new list, which I presume they got before they published it, but they haven't put the amended one in the pack.
I mean, it's probably a very easy change. I imagine there's slightly less Tomb Guard and slightly more something in core.
Yeah.
Archers,
I think it's up another archers, maybe.
Yeah, or an extra chariot or something.
I think that's going to be quite common, though, that the Tomb King and Priest, because they get an extra points, and it's 50% Lords and Heroes anyway. And then the standard rare, you're not leaving without your Casket, your Screaming Skull Catapult, and probably the Hyrule Titan to help the Leash Priest cast.
We shall see.
Again,
the next is the exact same rare choices, just for clarity.
Yeah.
Your special, you can pretty much say 2 War Sphinx.
Oh, well, anyone's bringing 2 War Sphinxes.
Well, this one's brought the Grand Hierophant and a Lich Priest level 4 on light, which always does well with Tomb Kings.
Yeah.
And then another
was very well.
level 1 light, and then a big block of 30 archers, and then 2 sets of 20 archers, and then 2 sets of skeleton horse archers, and then 5 skeleton horsemen.
+1.
I like that. Yeah. Special 2 War Sphinxes, and then 2 sets of 4 Necropolis Knights.
Spicy.
Are they monstrous? So they will count as scoring.
Oh yeah, they're stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Casket, Hyrule Titan, and Screaming Skull Catapult in rare for -1.
-1. Look, it's a strong Tomb Kings list. Katep is very expensive, but he's the master of Nekakara, and like light magic really works well with Tomb Kings. Double War Sphinxes are excellent. 2 blocks of 4 Necropolis Knights are very strong, and then you've got your standard rare setup.
Katep's Lawmaster, isn't he?
Yeah.
Lawmaster.
Yeah.
And he's got a few other bits and pieces that are quite handy. It's this combination of the Casket plus D3
and the Hyrule Titan.
And the Hyrule Titan plus D3 to cast.
Katep turns into a bit of a powerhouse then, but like Nekakara is fairly rubbish. So
Skull Storm.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
This is a plus
Take those
4.
on their plus 4 list next. The rare's exactly the same. Oh no, it's not. Apologies.
That's slightly different. This has got Katep and a Tomb King, and the Tomb Prince and a Necrotect as heroes. 3 skeleton chariots, 5 skeleton horse archers, 19 skeleton archers, and 59 skeleton warriors in the core. 1 War Sphinx, 3 carrion heroes, and 38 Tomb Guard in special.
Quite a
And then a Casket.
one, to be fair.
Yeah, it's quite a bit different. Casket of Souls, Hyrule Titan, and the Necro Sphinx for a plus 4.
Now the Necro Sphinx is plus 1, and I actually think because of the comp that allows Tomb Kings to march within 12 inches of their general, that gives the Necro Sphinx the ability to like fly 20 inches, which is huge.
He's covered half the board there.
Takes away his biggest weakness.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, it still deserves its positive because it's it doesn't have
In mission 1, that's the first turn charge because you're 20 inches away from each other.
Yeah, look, it's a massive.
Yeah, could do it. But then that's a nice chunky block of Tomb Guard as well.
30 like Tomb Guard, yeah.
And 60 skeleton warriors. Well, 59.
Yeah. Why the hell not?
Wish I'd brought Fiery Convocation for that.
Tomb Prince.
Necro Sphinx is
giving them
there is a
weapon skill.
Yeah, weapon skill 5 would give them.
Well, yeah, the Tomb Prince will be given them weapon skill 5, while the Tomb King gives the Tomb Guard weapon skill 6. That's cool. It's
pretty good.
It's a decent list, to be fair.
And then they can be the anvil while the carrion.
Oh, yeah, look, that 59 block's going to be hard to move off objectives.
Anything.
That's a fact.
And the carrion devastates all in front of them.
Something like that, yeah.
The next one's a plus 1. Tomb King General, level 4 on Hekara, and then a level 2 on Death.
Yay!
Of course.
Is this familiar? 50 skeleton warriors. I know. 2 times 20 skeleton archers, 3 times 3 skeleton chariots, 2 war sphinxes, 4 necropolis knights, Tomb Scorpion, and a casket of souls, and the Kemric Titan.
There he is, the big beetle himself. Yeah, look, it's my list. I love war sphinxes. I finally found a model that I liked for the Kemric Titan, so he's in the list.
So that's quite a lot of toughness 8 and above stuff you've got here.
Yeah.
And you can't insta kill him, can you? The Kemric Titan?
Can't be wounded by anything with lower than strength 4 either.
Bloody hell.
And he's got fly.
And he can fly.
Of course. And he can march fly now, I suppose.
He could always march fly because he's not next
to
undead. He's undead.
Oh, fair enough. Lower death, so that's going to be lots of Spirit Leech.
But look, you know fine well I don't leave the house without a Spirit Leech if I can get away with it.
No, you never leave the house without Skullstorm.
Don't you say ridiculous things on your own channel.
I like these huge blocks of skeletons.
I love a big block of skeleton warriors, so they're in there.
2 Kemrian War Sphinxes, Necro Knights. It's the first time I've seen the Tomb Scorpion.
It's the first time I'll have used the Tomb Scorpion.
If you remember him.
Yeah.
It's probably better just to deploy them rather than entomb them.
No, as in if I even remember to bring them, because I forgot to pick them and Stan and I had a warm-up game.
Just assume he got lost.
I just forgot to deploy him.
You forgot to deploy him?
Yeah. He's painted now, thanks to Fiona.
Well, railroaded through your one. The next one, I've just looked at the totals. Like it's 2,750, but yeah, that's right.
This was another negative. What kind of monster takes Tomb Kings and takes a negative list?
-3. Arc in the Black as a general. Leech Priest on light. Then 2 more. Is this a light council?
Arc in the Black. So they've got a level 5 on death and a light council. This will do well.
2 sets of 15 skeleton archers, 14 skeleton archers, 3 chariots, 2 sets of 5 horse archers, 3 carrion, 5 necropolis knights, 4 more Morghast harbingers, casket of souls, Harrier Titan, and 2 catapults for -3.
Yeah, look, this has got a lot of threat to it, like Arcan and a Light Council. I mean, the general is Arcan who doesn't have a ward save. And is bunkered in one of those fairly small units.
Yeah.
So if you can get to it, you can hurt this a lot. But you've got to get to it through a level 5 on death and a Light Council.
And
the casket and the necropolis knights and the Morghast harbingers and screamers
and 2 skulls.
Yeah. So look, it's -3 comp for a reason.
I don't know. We'll find out, but we'll see if the buffs to the Tomb Kings have been slightly overcooked.
I think we'll see that they have, but I'll maybe proven wrong, but we'll see.
There's a +3. So Hierophant, level 4 on the Hekara, a Tomb King, a Necrotect, 2 Tomb Princes in chariots, 10 Skeleton Archers, 2 units of 7 chariots, 26 Tomb Guard, a Khemric Titan, and a Casket of Souls.
I mean, that's a lot of
Khemric Titan number 2.
This is a proper.
That is a lot.
This is like a proper, like if you take away the Khemric Titan, this is almost like a 6th edition Tomb King list with all the chariots. This is cool. Can
the characters join units of chariots?
Yeah. I mean, what you'll see though is that your Leech Priest is only bunkered in a unit of 10 skeleton. Oh no, you've got 26 Tomb Guard as well. Ooh, it's not. Yeah.
Does he really want to go in there though?
No, you do not. I do not want to go anywhere near combat. I'd imagine your Tomb King's in the Tomb Guard, your Leech Priest will be in the 10 archers.
Bloody hell.
Spicy.
Yeah, that's
it's plus
brave
reason, and that's with the Khemric Titan. Like hats off, you crazy bastard.
Oh, that was the last of it.
That's the last of
it's the last of Tomb Kings. So next is Vampire Counts, of which there are some
1, 2, 3 of them. Less than last time.
3?
Oh no, actually exactly the same number as last time, but none of the same people playing them.
All change. So this is a +2 one. It's got a Vampire Lord on vampires and Count Manfred. That seems familiar.
But that Vampire Lord is on a zombie dragon.
He is on a zombie dragon.
Hero.
I like it.
It's a +2.
Lots of dragons.
And that with Count Manfred, which is good going.
So 3 sets of 5 direwolves. 3 sets. Sorry,
special.
I'll get to that. Yeah, I've just noticed that. It's 2 sets of 40 zombies and 40 skeletons. 2 sets of 2 black storms, and then 2 sets of 7 hex wraiths and 2 spirit hosts.
That is a lot
for a +2. That is a lot of ethereal.
That is going to ruin someone's day.
It absolutely is. And you know what the thing is? Those hex wraiths, what you'll do is you'll have Manfred within so many inches of them, so he gets the 4 effective ward from the lookout. So for anything that targets Manfred as well.
This is the time when you fight this army, and you know that sinking feeling when you think I've got no magic attacks whatsoever.
Oh yeah, if you don't have if you don't have any magic attacks, this is going to cause you a lot of problems. And Manfred's a casting machine. And
that's a big pile of core, isn't it? 2 sets of 40 zombies, 40 skeletons.
Yeah. It's very similar core to what I ran last time, and they're excellent at objectives. Like they are.
This is a flat 0-1. The next one. So Master Necromancer on vampires, a Cairn Wraith, a Necromancer level 1, and then 2 vampires, both level 1s, on Shadow. A set of 10 direwolves, 2 sets of 5 direwolves, 3 sets of 50 zombies. My God. A Corpse Cart, 33 Graveguard, 5 Hex Wraiths, 3 Vargheists, a Terrorgeist, and a Varghul for 0 comp.
I love a Corpse Cart with zombies, to be fair. They're well cool. The buffs.
ASF zombies.
Yeah. Speedmeisters. And look, there's no level, there's no blender. There's
no blender vampire.
A couple of baby blenders. Possibly, but It's a balanced VC list.
That's a lot of models to remove from
It's a very
150.
play the mission list.
It is. It is very much to play the mission list. I've played the person who's got this list before in an event where he ran a very, very similar VC list. It's a cool list, like lots of zombies.
Yeah. The Hex-Ray, the Vargeists, the Terrorgeist, and the Vargul just running interference.
Yeah, pretty much. And then when the zombies are there, you've got you've got a couple of baby blenders to spread around, and a Kenwraith to be very disruptive as well because he's ethereal.
I like it.
Yeah.
The next one's -2. So it's a Master Necromancer level 4. I'm assuming on vampires, because it doesn't say. Vampire Lord, and then a set of 40 zombies, 2 sets of 20 zombies, 41 skeletons, 3 sets of 5 direwolves, and then Spirit Host, 2 Bat Swarms, 5 Vargeists, and 7 Crypt Horrors, special, and then 2 Terrorgeists and a Vargulf in rare for -2.
That rare is how a vampire rare choice is supposed to look.
Double Terrorgeist.
That rare, other than when I run lots of Terrorgeist, and by lots I mean the 3 I ran last time. 4? Did I run 4 last time? 3.
3.
3, I think.
3, just the 3. But to be fair, that's as far as competitive VC go. That rare is how I build my VC all of the time. Double Terrorgeist Vargulf is exactly 625. It's perfect. It's 2,500. With the exception of Vargeist in there instead of Hex-Wraiths, that is not a million miles away from my standard VC list.
Again, it's a lot of quarter shift for the missions. What's that? 40, 80, 100.
80 zombies,
21
21 skeletons.
Zombies, and they ain't staying at 80 for long, is it?
Invocate.
Although, to be fair, there is only one necromancer. As you well know, I prefer several lower level necromancers as well to get more invocates off. But look,
If your channel battery up.
Yeah, I think it's a really strong. I think it's overall a very strong VC list. Very rounded. I think if I was going to take a punt on top VC, I'd probably have to go, though, depending on matchups, the swarm of Ethereal.
Yeah. That
And
list has just got.
obviously, we know who's got that list, and he knows what he's doing. Although he does get hats off because he's got a Lord on a Zombie Dragon hero.
So it's all a balance.
It's a good set of VC lists for very different lists. So cool, and obviously we want to see VC represent because they're VC and they're cool.
So number 2 rather than Team Kings. Well, here's the Warriors. Here's the.
We go from the
lowest.
Oh no, my apologies. That Orc and Goblin list earlier was not 11 capped at 10. There's a Warriors list that's 11 capped at 10.
Right.
Legend.
Well, we'll get onto that because this is the lowest comp in the tournament at -8.
Rightfully so.
So here we go. Chaos Lord on a Disc of Tzeentch with a Mark of Tzeentch. Chaos Sorcerer Lord, Law of Nurgle, level 4. Exalted Hero, Mark of Nurgle as the BSB. Festus, Throg. 26 Chaos Warriors with a Mark of Nurgle. 11 Chaos Trolls. And then some Chaos... is that... How many Chaos Ogres is that?
I think when there's been edited, it's chopped off there. You can count.
An amount of Chaos Ogres.
An amount of Chaos Ogres.
Will it be about 6? 6 to 8?
Yeah, something like that. I could work it out because it's 268 points, so probably about then.
So there's the Unkillable Disco Lord there.
Legend. I mean, he's
a level 4
by himself, to be honest.
There's the Mark and Nurgle level 4 with the arguably the best law that Chaos have got.
No, to be fair, he could have taken Death.
True.
The level 4 Lord of Nurgle.
You could, yeah.
So
Even so,
really, he's going fluffy by taking Nurgle instead of.
So that justify this war crime.
the Warriors are Nurgle, so -1 to hit.
Yeah, they are.
Plus Festus, so is that regen?
Yeah, regen on a 4 up, or poison on a 5 up. One of the two. I can't remember which one it is.
Then you got Throg, who's disgusting. Plus he's trolls. And then
Another block of ogres.
In the block of ogres.
That's 3 chunky scoring units and the Unkillable Lord. I mean, I think it's a strong list, to be fair.
No, he's even got 2 scoring units.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the trolls don't
apologies.
count.
Yeah, of course. Now, I mean, I'm not like I need to start petitioning for Throg to let trolls take banners.
But it's not even like a big problem because what you're going to pick Festus. That's probably the one you would go for, like for killing the scoring unit.
Oh, the Chaos Warriors. Oh, you mean the additional one? Well, you ain't going to pick the Chaos Lord, are you?
No. Would you pick? You probably wouldn't even pick the trolls because they've all got regen.
Depends if you've got a lot of flaming attacks.
Well, if you have, I suppose that's fine.
But yeah, look, it's going to be a tough nut to crack, and it's going to cause some problems.
It's just, I've got a Disco Lord is
quite the high negative though, but I think Zenith Lords are over comped.
Depends what you give them though. With some more stuff that means they don't go anywhere.
No, I still think they're over comped. Like they're not as good as Techless, but they're very similar comp score.
Don't like Throg. Vomiting over everything.
Yeah,
well, the next
that's outrageous, isn't it? I mean, it's disgusting.
From -8 to +7, that's quite a swing here. Skylar is the general. That's new. Exalted Hero BSB. So no lords.
This is a full corn.
Certainly is. 4 sets of 5 Chaos Warhounds. 23 Chaos Warriors with Mark of Corn and additional hand weapon, because of course. 6 Marauder Horsemen. 2 sets of 6 Chaos Ogres. And 3 Dragon Ogres in special. And a Giant with a Mark of Corn. And 5 Skull Crushers in rare. And maximum... Oh no, you can't do that, can you?
No.
I was going to say you can't take the Skull Cannon in this.
No. No, look. Hats off. You know, Brian is taking his... Corn's coming out to play. He's magic, losers. Shooting, losers. Movement, we run forward, and then we're trying to get into combat. And we're going to do it. We're going to roll some dice. We're going to have a good time.
You don't even need a Lord. Just...
Nah, look.
No, that's a waste.
Just charge forward.
Just run.
Yeah.
Anything else is for chumps.
However,
and finish from a Chaos Warrior point on a list that actually comps at +11, but capped down to +10.
This is quite a list here. So this one, Lords is Collect Sun Eater.
Hero.
Good start. Heroes is a level 2 on Shadow with a Marcus Nesh. And then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of 5 Forsaken with 2 sets of 5 Chaos Warhounds. And then 3 Dragon Ogres, a Chaos War Shrine with the Marcus Nesh, 6 Chaos Ogres with the Marcus Nesh, a Chaos Giant with the Slanesh, and the Mutaleth Vortex Beast.
It's only got 1 scoring unit.
Just look at that. It's like...
It's incredible. It's incredible for all the wrong reasons. This guy is an absolute hero.
What is this going to look like on the board?
Honestly, it's going to look insane. Oh, this is wild. It's wild.
1 scoring unit. Between 3 Warriors of Chaos lists, there's
such a variant. Like there's 19 points of comp between like top and bottom.
Between 3 Warriors lists, there's 26 Warriors.
Yeah. No. There's 40 9 across all three lists.
Brian,
I don't.
yeah.
But we've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous. -8,
I've never.
+7, +11, Captain 10.
I've never seen a mutalith used. What the hell does it do?
Nah, nobody.
You've never seen Forsaken used?
Well, you're about to.
Definitely have them seen 6 units of 5 of them on a board at any given time, ever. Like, honestly, I'm desperate. I really look forward to seeing this on the table because I just don't understand what's about to happen.
Oh, the sorcerer is on a demonic mount as well.
Yeah.
So can't go with anything.
Oh, wild. Absolutely bananas.
Oh,
Yes, I think they should have given whoever this is the full 11,
Honestly.
not the 10.
I agree. Guy's a hero.
I want to play that. Just so I can try and understand it.
And then, we finish with the 1 soul Wood Elf player this time.
Yep, only one. -5 list. Spellweaver on high, Spellweaver on shadow, a Glade Captain as a BSB, and then 4 sets of 10 Glade Guard in core. Special, 2 sets of 10 Wild Riders, then a set of 5 Wild Riders, and rare, a Great Eagle, and 14 Way Watchers for -5.
Look,
Solid.
it's -5 for a reason. It's got
Yeah.
the tricks. It's a naughty list. And it's good. It's going to do what it's going to do.
High and shadow is a good combination as well.
Good shadow, very good combo.
Don't know why you always see it with Wood Elves, the double level 4.
Yeah, well, there was 2 at the last event, Wood Elves with double level 4 as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I just think
it's them.
both. You wouldn't want to pass up either low with them.
They work both like high dark, shadow, death. It's all they've got good combinations. Like especially with the like savior tokens, the way the high magic works with Wood Elves. You can start negating wounds from miscasts and all sorts. But that's another one. That's another one. Like, what do you point your army at? It's the set of 10 Glade Guard. Well, who cares? Yeah.
And I hate to break the news to you, lads. I've just checked on the group, and the corrected lists have just been submitted, so we're going to have to record this all again.
It's only what it does slightly change the draw for first round, but only by for Mark and like obviously the relevant players around them.
Yeah.
Well, this was relevant 3 hours ago.
That's still the same.
2 changes to the draw, and that's all it's done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not so bad.
No, exactly. So I think this is definitely going to come top Wood Elf.
Definitely.
And it's a good, strong list, and I think you'll see it doing well.
Yeah. Well, as is reflected in the comp.
Yeah.
Well, that's all of them. My aim is to be average again, and anything better than that is an improvement.
The hubris before fall, but I am going hopefully to battle for top Tomb King. I would love to do that. That's my aim. But I mean, obviously, I'm going to have a bloody good time, which I'm sure it's going to be because we always have a good time down there. But I would love to come away with a competitive showing for Tomb Kings.
Ditto. I'm same as you. Go for top to Wolf, and be happy with that. And then last time, both myself and yourself got best in faction, so it'd be nice to keep that going with a different race every time.
Yeah, look.
Well,
and more importantly, we're gonna go to the Tiny Rebel Brewery, and then we're gonna go to that really nice burger place that we found.
Sign autographs,
but
or not?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Like genuinely, I think it's going to be an absolute blast. It's going to be a really good event, and I look forward to doing the review show as well.
Yeah, we'll do that afterwards. See how it goes. But until then, unless you've got any final thoughts, thanks for joining and going through 50, I don't know, 40 lists.
52, I think.
50.
There's a lot of lists.
Well, we'll see you for the review show